493 on the calendar in the matter of Soderblom versus Martin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, which one of you goofballs rented this hotel room to have a party?
Yeah, this is my witness here, Your Honor.
This goofball right over there. Raise your hand. Goofball. Good.
It's me.
Perfect. And so you went into an unsuspecting hotel with a bunch of barely out of their teens goofballs, and they proceeded to wreck the place. Right?
Yes.
And now you come to court and you say, oh, yeah, you go figure it out. So I guess I have to do it because it's my job. But it's irritating. Do you understand how irritating that? Why are you smiling?
I don't know.
Well, don't. It's irritating. Okay. Where do you live?
St. Louis.
On what date did you rent this hotel room?
The night of December 23rd.
Why?
We were bored and we wanted to have something to do, I guess. We were going to play poker.
And how many people did you invite to the hotel room?
There's probably between 10 and 15 people there.
And what was the name of this hotel?
The Days Inn.
When you rented this room, who was responsible for bringing the alcohol? Raise your hand.
No.
You had to watch that in slow motion. It was really quite interesting. And what kind of alcohol did you bring?
Just Bud Light.
How much?
Yeah. I had about a 12-pack or more.
12-pack or more. Did they make a 16-pack?
Yeah, it was probably a 16-pack.
They make a 16-pack?
No, I just called it that. I had about 12 plus 4 more.
So you had a 12-pack and you carried 4 bottles loose?
Right.
And what about you? What did you bring?
I brought a 12-pack, but I didn't finish it.
Just for you?
Yeah.
And was your 12-pack just for you?
Yes.
And what about you?
I had some beer there, too.
Did you bring any?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you raise your hand? When I said who brought alcohol, this one raised his hand right away because he's scared to death of me, which is a very good one. This one's not too sure.
I thought you were just looking at them, asking them if they brought alcohol.
No, I'm an ecumenical abuser.
I did, too.
What did you bring?
12-pack of Bud Light.
And was that just for you?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
That's better. Okay, so this is what the lawsuit is about. You rented the room on your credit card. There was some damage to the room in the amount of $360?
No, the damage total was $955. Myself and the defendant were responsible for $710. So I
You
paid...
mean responsible because you damaged $710
right,
worth?
because of our stupidity.
Yes.
And I paid him, my witness, his amount, plus the half of the $355 that he owed, because he refused to pay anything.
I wish I could figure out a way to really torture them better.
Oh, you will.
You're right. Who are you?
Mary Burkhardt.
How are you related to this case?
I'm a friend of Richard's, and I was bringing him home that night.
She's the sober one that was there. The only sober one.
Who are you?
I'm DJ Felderworth.
What'd you do?
I was there at the party.
You were one of the goofballs?
Yes.
Good. Mr. Hill, I want you to describe the damage to the room that was done at the Days Inn.
There was a hole in the bathroom door, blood on the mattress.
From what?
From one of them going through the window and coming back in the room.
Yeah. Keep going.
Carpet extraction to clean the glass. Rooms got charged. Both rooms got charged because the mattress had to get replaced and the room with the window broken had to get replaced. So
You mean there were 2 different rooms?
The room that the window got broken in was not my room.
Whose room was that?
It was nobody's room. It was a vacant room. They were on the balcony when they were wrestling and went through a different room. It wasn't even my room, and I paid for it.
What else?
That's it. They charged for the room, the mattress, the carpet, the door, the window, an AC vent below the window, and the labor for the window.
And they had your credit card for this, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good for you, Days Inn. What kind of work do you do?
I work at Subway.
You work at Subway?
Yes.
You know how many sandwiches you have to make for $955?
Yes.
Were you the only group staying at the Days Inn that night?
There were other guests there.
How many times did somebody call, knock at the door, and say, "Could you keep it down"?
There were no complaints. We weren't very loud.
Except when there were fights.
At the end, yes, that was at like 6 a.m.
No, we were fighting. No, there was, he wasn't even playing poker. This side was playing poker of the room. This side over here was like a party room.
Party room, what does that mean?
Like a party room, like where everybody's just standing up, drinking, having fun, and then everyone's over here wrestling while everyone over here is playing poker.
Everyone's not wrestling.
So,
I want you to describe to me what you did to cause Mr. Soderblom to sue you today for your portion of whatever he paid.
well, we were in the wrestling,
In which room?
in the hotel room, and we were wrestling. Everybody was, not just me. And then by the end of the night, after poker, I started wrestling too. I admit that we started getting into it. I mean, we had a room and there's 2 beds, and we're roughhousing and stuff. And then I said I was going to leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning. There's only 5 people left, and then he followed me out of my room. And
He followed you out of the room.
Yeah, and
Is that right so far? You followed him out of the room?
Skipped a part.
Right, you missed something,
Sugar,
but I followed him.
I'm going to listen
Yes,
to his
ma'am.
story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then it's good 10 or 15 feet to the next door. And then he came behind me, and I grabbed him as he pushed me, and he like pushed me through the window.
Okay, now you tell me your version of how that happened.
Okay. I'll skip all the BS he was talking about. He was.
Excuse me?
No, about anything didn't have anything to do with how the wrestling started.
Don't forget where you are, Mr. Soderblom.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What did you do being upset and after your 12-plus pack?
We started pushing and shoving, and he caught the back end of the window, and then I went forward, and I got a cut on my finger as well.
And later today,
The driver was there on time, and the car was
I'm telling you, the driver was not there on time. What part of that don't you understand? Are you thick?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brad Soderblom says former friend Richard Martin Jr. owes for damage he caused to a hotel room. Brad says a drunken Richard fell through a window.
Go ahead.
At 5 o'clock a.m., as he was leaving, I went to shake his hand. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and he grabbed my arm and pulled me down on the ground. And then he ran out of the room thinking it was funny. I didn't think it was funny, so I chased him out, and we started arguing.
Well, you chased him out into the hall.
Right.
He was leaving.
Yes.
So the danger was gone.
Yes.
It was no longer a question if it could ever be considered self-defense. He was extricating himself from the situation.
Right.
By leaving. And you chased him outside.
Right.
Now, continue.
I followed him into the hall, and I was a little upset.
So what did you do being upset and after your 12-plus pack?
We just started arguing, and then...
Well, tell me about the argument. Were you yelling at each other?
Yes, we were yelling at each other.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
When the other people in the hotel was sleeping?
There wasn't anybody else on the floor.
You mean you had the whole floor? You probably emptied them out?
Yes, there was no other rooms within the area where we were at.
Go ahead.
And we started arguing, yelling at each other, and we started pushing each other. And we were locked onto each other like this. He had his arms right here, and I had my arms on his. And we were wrestling, and he caught the back end of the window, and he went back into it like that, and then I went forward, and I got a cut on my finger as well. Because if I pushed him through the window, then I wouldn't have any scars or marks on me.
You want to tell me your version of, were you sober? Did you see this? Did you see this part of what happened?
Yes.
Okay, step up. Tell me your name.
Mary Burkhardt.
All right, Mary, tell me what you saw.
We left the hotel room. From what I remember, Brad was already on the floor. And we said goodbye to everybody. We were walking out down the stairs.
Who were you walking with?
Richard.
So the two of you were walking together.
Mm-hmm.
You left that out. Is that true?
I don't remember her being there, right there. She was by the door.
So she was outside?
Afterwards, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
As we were walking out, we heard someone rushing up on Richard. Brad started wrestling with him, and when he grabbed him out of natural reaction, Richard grabbed him back, and they fell into the window.
Okay, good. Sit down. Mr. Soderblom, there are certain generally accepted principles of law, and one of them is that if you can say in a civil action, in a civil case, and this is a civil case, but for your actions, this incident would not have occurred, I'm comfortable in finding that he's not responsible, just you. He was leaving the room. All you had to do was, and you weren't hurt, you weren't in danger, you may have felt marginally disrespected by him. However, probably you wouldn't have felt that way if you didn't have too much to drink. Everybody was roughhousing that day. He didn't intend to hurt you. And you were not at risk in any way when you went outside and confronted him. So you caused the damage. Pay for it. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I gave the police his information, and he was contacted that morning.
The next morning, I got a DWI.
They just told us that if we didn't pay for the damages, then we would be going to jail.
I think that if they didn't drink so much and not realize what they were doing, stuff like this wouldn't happen.
It changes your state of mind. You don't realize what's going on.
Me and this guy, we always get into it when we're drunk anyway, so. And then this time it just went a little bit too far.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Elahi, step forward, please.
19-year-old bank teller Chris Young is suing limo company owner Mike Elahi for ruining his prom. Chris says the limo was too small and over an hour late.
Mr. Elahi, you own a limousine company?
Yes, ma'am.
How many cars do you have?
4.
How long have you had the company?
This company is about 2 years.
What kind of cars do you have?
I have a sedan, SUV, and Excursion and Hummer.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
you, according to your complaint, hired the defendant for a prom.
Correct.
And what kind of car did you rent?
I requested, he told me he had a 18-passenger Hummer limo.
Is that what you told him you wanted?
Right, he said that's all he had left.
Did you have a contract with him?
I have the credit card statement.
Let me see it, please. What night was your prom?
It was the night of May 15th.
And when had you reserved this?
I called her around the 12th, I believe it was.
Would you have been just as happy with the SUV or another car?
The whole reason we ordered the Hummer is because we had a couple extra people join our group.
What time was he supposed to arrive?
He's supposed to arrive at 6:30.
What time did the car arrive?
Around 8:15.
What kind of car arrived?
It was a 12-person excursion.
Did you call the defendant between 6:30 and 8:15?
I called the defendant at 6:30 to ask where the limo was.
And where was the limo, sir?
It was at the location.
No, he called you at 6:30, sir, asking you where the car was.
At 6:30, I don't recall that. I don't recall that.
Well, you don't recall that?
No.
Well, he does. So then you must be mistaken.
I talked to 6:45. I talked to the driver, and he was with the customer.
With what customer?
With the passengers.
These passengers?
Absolutely.
No. Sir, no. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here today. What's the name of your company?
A1 Limousine.
A1 didn't do their job that night, sir. They didn't get to his house until, according to him,
Well,
at least an hour and a half late.
Well, it was an hour and a half. It wasn't late at all, ma'am. It wasn't late at all.
You don't know that at all, sir.
Yes, I talked to the driver myself.
Listen to me very carefully, Mr. Alawi.
Sure.
You can't tell me what the driver said to you. That's hearsay. Why didn't you bring the driver here?
What driver is no longer with the company. It's no
Why
longer
not?
with the company. Well, this job is about a year ago. I tried to find a driver, but
It's not a year
unfortunately I
ago.
wasn't successful.
All right, well, then
15th.
you can't tell me anything, sir. I have to rely on what the plaintiff tells me. So the car was an hour and 45 minutes late.
All right, I have proof of the limo being late.
Can I see it, please? You still have this limousine company?
Yes, I do.
I would have suggested, Mr. Alawi, that what you do is to credit Mr. Young for that evening, or at least for a substantial part of it, because your company's not going to come out looking really good tonight.
Well, according to my note, I checked with
Here's
the
a
driver
letter from the Agora High School, from the principal, indicating that they received a distress telephone call from the parents of Chris Young, indicating that the limo, which had been ordered, had not arrived, and the students would miss the 9 o'clock deadline for admission. After conferring with me, the students were granted a half-hour extension of the deadline until 9:30.
Well, ma'am, they used the service. They used the service, and they were in the car before 7 o'clock. There was no way they were...
They were not! They were not in the car. Because, listen to me,
Yes.
the car didn't get there
Well, they could have canceled the whole thing. Why did they use the service then? If the driver was late hour and 45 minutes, why did they use the service?
Where is A1 Limousine located?
West Los Angeles.
I wouldn't use them. Ever. When you have a company, and we're not getting to the condition of the limousine when it arrived, because I read that. When you have a company that accepts the responsibility of providing limousine service for high school kids for their prom, and you don't do the right thing, you have to be able to accept responsibility.
Absolutely, that's part of our job, you know, to be there on time.
And you did not. And if you did not, you're supposed to be able to say, we did not, and it's the cost of doing business, I'm going to refund your money.
Well, that's not true, ma'am. The driver was there on time, and the car was
I'm telling you, the driver was not there on time. What part of that don't you understand?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but
Are you thick? You have pictures of what the car looked like inside? Can I see it, please? Can I see it, please?
The pictures don't show any much of the mess inside. But I have a witness that saw the inside of the limo.
Who is that?
Paula.
Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Paula Smith-Shamey. I'm the mother of his date. I was there through the whole waiting for the driver.
You were the mother of his date?
Yes.
That would be you. You look very pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
What time did the car arrive?
It was about an hour and a half after it was supposed to be there. And even when the limo did finally arrive, the driver would not take them. He said that he was being told that he could not drive them, or if he drove them, he wouldn't get paid. On his own, he suggested, well, I can take you down there because it's on my way back, but I can't bring you back.
Did he bring them back?
Well, after negotiating, yes, he did take them, but there wasn't enough room. The kids sat on the floor. 2 of the kids were transported by their parents, but it was still very crowded in there. One of the kids was on the floor.
Can you describe to me what the limousine looked like?
It looked like a party vehicle. It was leopard print with mirrored ceilings. There was cans on the floor. There was dirt on the carpeting inside. And it was basically.
Was this one of your regular cars, Mr. Alawi? That's the answer, yes or no. Was this one of your regular cars?
No, ma'am.
You subcontracted for this car?
That's correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, which was $1,356.25. Mr. Alawi, I'm going to tell you something, sir. You make a big mistake as a businessman. As a businessman, you certainly don't air your dirty laundry in front of 10 million people. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 516 on the calendar in the matter of Lee versus Beck. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Mr. Lee, the defendant was your girlfriend for a while, and you claimed some loans to her for car repairs. And in addition to the loan for car repairs, you say that you loaned her a car of yours, and she refuses to return it.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want the car back.
Yes.
The defendant says that you fixed her car because you always insisted on making sure that her car was in running order. There was never any discussion of her paying you back for fixing her car, and that you, in fact, gave her this car, and she is counterclaiming because she says that after she broke up with you, you broke up with him?
He broke up with me.
And also...
Just a second. That you came to the house, to her house, and you disabled her car, which you claim is your car, and she wants the money that she had to spend or will have to spend to put it back into running condition. So how long was this lovely relationship that you enjoyed, Mr. Lee?
Year and a half. But I think we broke up like 3-4 times in between.
The natural course of events, Mr. Lee. When did you loan her this car?
First of all, she had her own car, and this car was keep on breaking down. She had no money, so that's what I do. I fix car. That's, you know, my side job. So she has her car. She's always breaking down. Sometimes she helps me pick up my daughter. She has a daughter on her own, and this car is like unsafe. So I keep on spending money on it. I spent $500 one time because her water pump went out, so we did the timing belt, everything. I have the receipt. Then maybe like a month later, our alternator goes out. I fixed it. She said she's going to pay me the money. I said, I spent $500 on your car. Well, I'm going to go to my mom and get some money. I'll pay you back. She goes to her mother's house, come back with $40. Here's 40. I'm like, I spent $500 for, you know. She had no job, so I told her, when you get a job, pay me.
Did you live together?
No.
So she was doing you a favor?
Well, one night I told her you could spend the night.
Just a second. That doesn't answer my question, Mr. Lee. Uncross your hand. She was doing you a favor by picking up your daughter.
Yes.
And you didn't want your daughter to drive in a car that was unsafe, I assume.
Yes. And plus,
Is that right?
she had no job. I was paying her rent.
And
I was supporting her.
Just a second. You were paying her rent where she was living. How much was her rent every month?
$500 a month.
And how many times did you pay her rent?
I think I paid 3 times.
When?
2004.
When in 2004? Before or after you loaned her money to fix her car?
After. No, right around that time. June, May, I think it was August, I don't know.
All right. May, June, August, certainly after March, after you loaned her money to fix her car.
Yes.
And did she promise to pay you back the rent money too?
No, because she was helping me picking up my daughter, so she had no job, so I was helping her out on that. Is there something?
Shh. Shh. Are you working now?
Yes. Or no, not anymore. I just lost my job last week.
That's what I'm asking you. Are you working now?
No.
Is my question.
I'm not.
Well, your arrangement with her was that she would pay you back when she got a job. She's not working.
She never worked. I got her that job.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir? Even if I believe you that they were loans, and I'm not so sure that they were loans, because you and the defendant had an intimate relationship, you were paying her rent, you were supporting her, and I cannot imagine that there was an expectation that she was supposed to pay you back the few $100s that you were spending to fix her car, especially since that was your business to fix cars. Now, let's get to this car that you say belongs to you, that you merely loaned to her. Tell me about that. When did you loan her your car, and what kind of car did you loan to her?
It's a 92 Acura Integra.
And when did she take possession of it?
June.
And tell me about how she took possession of the car.
She didn't take possession. She had a car, her car, always breaking down, that she had no money to fix, that I was fixing all the time. She said she'd pay me back, but she had no job, so she couldn't pay me back.
That's right. So we're not taking care of that. That took care of the loan.
So I bought this car because it was a good deal. I fixed it up. I was going to sell it. But since her car's always breaking down, I told her, here, why don't you drive this for a while? But the training is not so good, so in 2 years, I want to sell it before the training goes out.
Just a second. So here's this 1992 car. You can use it. But in 2 years, you have to give it back to me because the transmission's going to go out, and I want to sell it before the transmission goes out. Is that what he just said to me?
That's what he just said to me.
All right. So you gave her the car. Did you also give her the title to the car?
No, because she crashed her car with my daughter in it. Her driving is not good, so I don't want to be, I'll lend it to her, but I don't want to be reliable. So I bought the car. Registration, I pay for it. Insurance.
Just a second. I'm asking you a question, and you're going to give me an answer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There's a 16-year age difference between the two of you. If the worst she did to you was take advantage of you for a 1992 car, I suggest to you, Mr. Lee, get over it.
And later today,
some choice words were thrown back and forth.
You told her, leave.
I asked her politely to leave.
No, you didn't ask her politely. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Young Lee says ex-girlfriend Kristen Beck owes for a loan to fix her car. Young also claims Kristen won't return his car.
Was the car registered in her name?
Yes. But the pink
slip... And the car is titled in her name?
Yes. But she signed it. I have the pink slip. She signed it over to me.
Show me everything.
Show you what?
Show me the pink slip where she signed it over to you.
You're not letting me finish my story.
I'm asking you questions, Mr. Lee.
I had the pink slip. She wanted to see the pink slip. So I gave it to, well, I didn't give it to her. I went over to her house, gave the land, she wasn't there, so I gave it to landlord. You know what, every time we're breaking up, she comes back saying sorry. I think it's for the car she's coming back. Because every time we broken up, she gave me the car back. 3 times I took the car back, okay? But she always come back, sorry, sorry, and she wants the car back. So I'm thinking, this relationship is all about the car. That's what... It is about the car because she sold her car.
You may be right. You may be right.
She
It's
sold
all
her
about the
car for $1,000. I told her that she's trying to give me $500. The car that she sold it for $1,000. $500. She's trying to give it to me.
Did you take the $500?
No.
Well, why didn't you take the $500? Because according to you, she owed you a lot more money from the car repairs.
Because I don't know what she was giving me that $500 for. I said, what's this $500? Is this the money that you owe me from the car and all the money that I spent, you know, like rent, everything? And she said, no, this money is, I sold my car, so I'm giving you $500 because you bought me a car. I'm like, wait a minute. I told you this the second time. I didn't give you that car. I lent it to you.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Because I have the pink slip.
She has the registration. Car's registered.
She has the
in her
registration,
name?
but I have the pink slip.
Is the car registered in your name?
Yes, it is.
Do you have registration for the car?
You know, I have the registration.
Can I see it, please?
It's been under my name ever since the beginning, and he never
Let me just see it. Mr. Lee, you should have taken the $500, sir.
Your Honor?
Should have taken the $500.
500.
June 10th, 2004, the car was registered in her name.
It was never in my name. It was the person that I bought it. It was his name. I never even put it in my name because I'm still working on it. After I'm done with it, I was going to sell it, but I lent it to her. So I told her, put it in your name, but when the pink slip comes, sign it. I have the pink slip already signed to me.
Show me.
Okay? Then later on, she wanted the pink slip. I gave it to her landlord. Then she wanted to break up, whatever. We got into a fight, okay? I wanted my car back. You want to break up? Fine. I want my car back. She didn't want to give it to me. Okay? Give me the pink slip. She said, my landlord has it. Why does your landlord has my pink slip?
You just told me you gave it to her landlord.
I gave it to the landlord, but she supposed to give it to her. But she's saying she never did. And I have my witness here.
I'm not interested in your witness, Mr. Lee. The relationship didn't work out. The rent that you paid voluntarily.
Fine. I'm not asking for the rent.
Just a second. Well, just a second. But 2 seconds ago, you said to me, what are you giving me this $500 for? What? I paid your rent. I paid your car expenses. What is this $500 for? The rent, the car expenses? Listen, it didn't work out. How old are you?
39.
How old are you?
23.
So there's a 16-year age difference between the two of you. She's a pretty girl. You liked her. She was helpful with your child. I'm not saying that she didn't take advantage of you. Maybe she did. But if the worst she did to you was take advantage of you for a 1992 car, I suggest
Your
to you,
Honor,
Mr. Lee,
I
suggest to you, Mr. Lee, you have to get over it.
No, excuse me, Your Honor. Okay? The car is mine. I lent it to her. I have witness. Okay? I put it in her name. We got into a huge fight. I want my car back. She put a restraining order on me because...
Mr. Lee, get over it, sir. Get over it. Did you go? That's all. It's case dismissed. Put him outside. Listen to me. Your countersuit's dismissed. I suggest you get security out there for them.
I wasn't surprised what happened in there. I kind of knew he would have done something to upset her. It was out of despite of the restraining order. Because, you know, like, I had this on him, so he just wanted to, because I wouldn't get back with him.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Davison versus Scott. Step forward, please.
24-year-old waiter Ian Davison is suing his former roommate, 21-year-old draftsman Elizabeth Scott, for rent, utilities, and for hitting him in the face with a broom. Elizabeth claims Ian put his hands on her first.
Mr. Davison, according to what I read in your complaint, you and Miss Scott and another person entered into a lease in an apartment. Three of you were going to share a place together. Miss Scott decided to move out a couple of months early. She had a boyfriend. They decided to rent a place together. And you believe that she owes you for the 2 months' rent.
Correct.
As well as a utility bill for those 2 months. And in addition, it is your claim that she assaulted you when she left the apartment over a dispute. Ms. Scott says that she had fully intended to pay the 2 months' rent, but that you became so aggressive when she was moving out, it was unsafe for her to live there. As a matter of fact, it was you who were the aggressor on the final day of her stay in the apartment. She was, however, taken into custody initially because she hit you with a broom. Is that right?
I was never taken into custody, but...
The police were called?
Yes. I called the police.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ian Davison says his former roommate, Elizabeth Scott, owes for rent and utility bills. Ian also claims Elizabeth hit him in the face with a broom and gave him a black eye.
So what happened, Mr. Davison?
On the 8th of October, 2004, we had a meeting, roommate meeting, to discuss the finances, to figure out whether or not everything was in order. At that point in time, outside of her delinquency that month, everything was fine.
So you say she hadn't paid her rent?
Correct. We received a notice that said that she had not paid. There was $300 outstanding, being that I paid mine, Ken paid his, who was my roommate at the time. We figured it was hers. We asked her, and she said she hadn't paid, but she said she was going to, which we were completely fine with. And then I brought up the utilities. When I brought this up, she got real mad. She said that I was nickel and diming her, claiming...
Well, you're talking about the utilities that were owed up until that point, or the utilities prospectively for the 2 months that she wouldn't be living there?
A little bit of both. There was some owed, and then there was a couple of months when she wasn't going to be there that we were claiming she would have to pay. She said that she didn't think so. She
didn't want to pay for the utilities for the time that she wouldn't be enjoying the utilities, and only you two would be.
Correct. On October 9th, though, the day in question, she arrived to pick up the loose ends. Her and her boyfriend arrived. I was preparing for work, watching some football, and I calmly asked her. I asked her if she was going to pay, if she had been down to the office that day, and she said no, and if I could speak bluntly, Your Honor, she said, verbatim, none of your effing business. Some choice words were thrown back and forth. I realized that the argument wasn't going to be...
When you say some choice words were thrown back and forth, Mr. Davison, by both of you?
By both of us.
And when you say some choice words by both of you, I assume you meant that you raised your voice.
I did.
And she raised her voice.
She did.
Okay, so it got pretty heated.
It got heated.
And then what did you do, Mr. Davison?
Then I told her that I would like her to leave. She said that she wasn't going anywhere. You know, she was on the lease. Although she wasn't paying it, she claimed that she was no longer going to be paying anything. So I said...
So you told her, leave.
I asked her politely to leave.
No, you didn't ask her politely. At this point, you're not asking anybody politely, Mr. Davison. Don't, you know, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, sir. So you told her to get out of the apartment?
Yes.
And when you told her to get out of the apartment, what did you do?
I walked into the kitchen and, you know, confronted her. I said, you need to go. This is stressing me out. I don't want to go to work. You know, all worked up.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is after you've been screaming and yelling at each other and using profanity at each other, you walked inside and said to her, listen, you really have to go because this is stressing me out. Is that what you want me to believe, Mr. Davison?
Not in those words.
Well, if I ask you to relay the conversation to me, I don't expect you to put a spin on it.
Okay.
Because otherwise then I can't believe anything that you tell me.
Okay.
Go.
I walked into the kitchen. I said, will you please go? Will you get out? And I said it angrily because I was worked up. You are correct. At this point in time, Nick was waiting. Her boyfriend was waiting with the door open. They had all their things to go. They were ready to go. She had, you know, her broom and her Swiffer. She was getting ready to go. I placed my hands on her shoulder, you know, to escort her out. At which point in time, she stepped back and she used the broom, forcefully hitting me in the eye. I have a picture of it right here.
Why did you put your hands on her, Mr. Davison?
Because I was hoping that it would, you know, help her out of... I was hoping that I would be able to escort her out of the apartment.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
6 feet. How tall are you?
5'3".
5'3". How much do you weigh?
About 185.
And what do you weigh?
125.
See how good things are? If you just keep your mouth shut? Tell me what he did to you in the kitchen.
Well, I had other things besides a Swiffer and a broom in my hand. I had a bag of stuff. I was cleaning out the hall closet where I keep all my cleaning and stuff. And I had all my stuff, and he grabbed both my arms and pushed me not against the door, but towards the entry of the apartment. From the back or from the front? Front. And then I pushed back, and the Swiffer hit him in the face.
Stuff happens. A 6-foot-tall, 185-pound man is not supposed to put their hands in an aggressive, angry manner, which is what you were at that point. Otherwise, you would have not left the couch for football. The young men in my family, if they have to leave the couch for anything, it usually is very irritating to them. The fact that you got worse of the deal, as I said, stuff happens. Now, let's get on to the 2 months' rent. Mr. Davison, you kicked her out of the apartment.
I did not kick her out, Your
Yes,
Honor.
you did. According to you, sir, you said to her, "Get out." And when the police arrived, they actually put her out. Right?
They did. They said she could no longer be in the apartment without a police escort.
I am ruling now, Mr. Davison, that that is because you put your hands on her in an aggressive manner and told her to get out of the apartment. And if she got out of the apartment at your direction, you ain't entitled to the rent. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Guys. Yeah, this is case number 514 on the calendar in the matter of Hannah versus Henderson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Hanna, you and the defendant have an on-again, off-again sort of relationship, and you have a child together. According to your complaint, you were ordered to pay child support, which you did in fact pay, which was probably being deducted from your salary.
Yes, ma'am.
And there came a time when Miss Henderson and your son moved in with you. They lived with you for 2 months. According to you, she was supposed to stop the child support. She did not, and that money was taken out of your check while she was living with you. You want that money back.
Correct.
In addition, you came home one day and found that she had moved out of the house, taken all your furniture, and according to you, took $500 with your ATM card.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Henderson says she has your permission to take the furniture and the money, and in addition, that you told her that since she was getting child support from you, she had to take care of all the child's expenses when you were living together, so that she's entitled to that. When was your son born?
January 29th, 2 years ago.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you separate?
About 4 months later, I was at work, got a phone call from a friend of mine, says Jesse came out of an apartment complex, known to be one...
listen, I just asked you for a date.
Okay.
You know.
It's probably 4 months after my son was born.
Did you start to pay child support immediately?
Yes, ma'am.
That was as soon as she moved out?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when did she move back in with you?
Well, we got back together, and I was staying with her at her East 46th Street house, and she said we need to get a single house for us and the kids. So for the next 4 months, we was looking at houses. I bought a 4-bedroom house in the suburb of Cleveland, Parma. I thought everything was going good.
When she moved into the house that you bought, was she giving you any money?
She did at first. She gave me $3,000, help pay for, like insurance and stuff like that.
Just a minute. So she stayed with you for 2 months in the new house that you bought?
Yes, ma'am.
And when she stayed with you for 2 months, she gave you $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she give you the $3,000 for, sir?
It was child support money. She gave it back to me saying, here, since we was living together prior to moving into this house, that she's like, here, it's my savings, take it.
And you took it?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you suing her now for?
Thank you.
What are you suing her now for?
She sued me back for the $3,000, but she signed a gift letter saying it was a gift, free and clear, no strings attached before I bought my house.
Just 1 second. Hold on a second. So she sued you for the $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she get it?
No, ma'am.
So now you have the $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you suing her for?
The child support was from when we stayed together at her East 47th Street home that she continued to get while I was living with her. Under Ohio law, she was supposed to report that I was living with her at child support. She never did. Under the new agreement that I bought the new house, the child support was supposed to be dropped. The money is now is irrelevant. She took my kids and my life. That's the important thing. She has refused up until this week to let me see my children. I continue to pay this.
Mr. Hanna, listen to me very carefully, sir. You have to decide what court you want to be in. If you're not here over the money, because clearly, if she gave you $3,000 when you moved into the new house, and this house is in your name,
yes, ma'am,
and for moving in expenses, for the child support, for whatever, and that was her savings, that's what you just told me, she gave you her savings, I am unsympathetic with you with regard to her taking $500 out of your ATM account. So if what you're saying is that you're angry because she won't let you see your son, that's a whole different story. That's something that I can't do anything about. That's something that you have to do something about.
Legal motions have been filed in our hometown. I'm in the process of, going after joint custody with her. Tracking down where she's staying currently is another story.
Well, why do you think she's so angry with you, Mr. Hanna?
Your Honor, I come home, I work 6 days a week, I drive truck. I work 14 hours a day. I come home on a Friday night. My whole house is empty. Can you my kids are gone. Can you picture everything you own?
One child.
No, she has another child by a previous relationship.
I understand that, but you only have one child together.
I consider hers mine, though.
Do you
with
pay
all my
child
heart.
support for her?
I give that child everything she needed.
Do you pay child support for her?
No, but I continue to give that child everything she needs. The love and a father. Ain't that the most important thing?
No, the most important thing is food.
Right? She took that, too.
The most important thing, Mr. Hanna, is food.
She took that also.
I'm asking you a question. So you don't know why she cleaned out your house. Why don't you tell him?
He knows why.
No, just a minute. He doesn't know why.
Because he was cheating on me.
Got it?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
That's what's in her head.
I know that's what's in her head. If she would stay on her psychiatric medication, things would be all right.
Excuse me, Your Honor, it's Zoloft, okay? Depression for the first time he loved me.
Shh. Now, Miss Henderson.
Yes.
You have a child together.
Yes.
He may not be a wonderful mate.
Correct.
But you picked him to father your child.
Correct.
You cannot decide after you have had a child with someone that you don't want them to have any input in that child's life anymore because you don't like. I'm speaking because you don't like them anymore. That's not your prerogative. And if you do that, you're doing a disservice to your son, who will one day grow up and hate you for it. May not hate you for it now because he's 2, 3 years old, but when he's 15, trust me, he will hate you for it. I've been in this business a long time. So I would not fight the issue of regular contact between this gentleman and his child.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
When the baby was 6 months old, he had left me for a 19-year-old. Got her pregnant. Now they have a 7-month-old baby together.
So?
So after I move out, he's got her she moves in a month after I move out.
So
he's got 2 different women coming to his house. He's drinking all the time. I don't need my son around that stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You can be the drama lady from today until tomorrow. You do not impress me. You are not listening to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, you're no bargain either.
And later today.
What you're annoyed about is that he moved on before you were finished with each other.
No, I'm actually more annoyed at the fact that he's slept with my best friend. Now they're having a baby.
I would try to say it a little more delicately than you did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Hanna claims ex-fiancée Jessica Henderson owes for the return of child support. Jessica says Michael cheated on her with a 19-year-old girl.
You have 2 out-of-wedlock children.
Exactly.
He's got 2 out-of-wedlock children. Sounds like a perfect match to me. What I'm telling you is, you picked him. He is the father of your son. Don't look at him. Don't look at her. He is the father of your son. You don't have the right to say, I don't want him to have anything to do with him. You don't have that right. If a judge tells you that because it's not in the child's best interest, the judge will make that decision. But I'm telling you that you don't have the right, just because you wear the mantra mother, to say this person who had fathered a child, who you lived with off and on, who this child knows as his father, you don't have the right to cut off that relationship. And you may have the right to cut off the relationship with the older child and him. That's unfortunate if he's been in that child's life for a long time. But you certainly don't have the right to cut off a relationship with his biological son. That's very stupid.
So it's all right to let my son go over there while he, have sex with these 2 women at the same time, out drinking, having his other girlfriend,
Miss Henderson,
taking my child to daycare.
Miss Henderson, listen to me carefully. You can be the drama lady from today until tomorrow. You do not impress me. You are not listening to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, you're no bargain either. You've had 2 out-of-wedlock children.
Correct.
As far as I can tell, somebody else was at least marginally supporting you. I don't know who supports you now. What I'm telling you is, the 2 of you aren't bargains. However, maybe between the 2 of you, you can make one perfect parent. Maybe 50% you, 50% him. You don't have the right to tell him he can't see his son. Your case is dismissed, sir. She gave you $3,000. It's over. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm not mad. I'm just glad that she voiced her opinion about me being able to see my children.
I know his lifestyle, and, you know, I really don't want my child growing up like he did.
Judge Judy asked her who helped support her. She lives with a 72-year-old sugar daddy.
I know what goes on when the children aren't there.
Maybe if I'm living the lifestyle she accuses me of, maybe she still wants a part of it. I don't know.
He's not ready to be a father.
She'd still be in my house and still be with my kids right now. She wouldn't, you know, she'd just leave the drugs and everything else alone, you know.
He'll go his separate way, and I'll go my separate way.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rushworth versus Tripp, step forward.
Broker coordinator Sheila Rushworth is suing her ex-boyfriend, project manager Clay Tripp, for breaking an apartment lease and for his share of household bills. Clay says Sheila kicked him out.
Miss Rushworth, you have 2 children, is that right?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
14 and just turned 11.
According to your complaint, you and Mr. Tripp were in a relationship and decided to lease an apartment or a home together.
Correct.
You did so and moved in with your 2 children. There came a time when the 2 of you weren't getting along anymore. Mr. Tripp moved out of the apartment.
Yes.
There was an altercation. He moved out of the apartment, and you want him to pay his share of the remainder of the lease because you evidently had an agreement where you would each pay half the rent.
Correct, yes.
In addition, you say that he left owing some household bills and that you lost some days' pay because he filed a false restraining order against you that you had to take time to have resolved. Mr. Tripp says that you harassed him by phone after the breakup, which inspired his request for a protective order, that he owes you nothing for the rent because you had an agreement, according to him, that he can establish, and that agreement was you told him in exchange for keeping his part of the security deposit, you would take care of the rest of the rent and bills. And it wasn't until after you ascertained that he was in another relationship, a relationship where he was having a child with somebody else, that you decided that he owed you the money. That's your defense.
That's right.
When did you sign this lease, Miss Rushworth?
I had originally lived in the home for 1 year prior to signing the lease with the defendant.
How were you paying the rent at that time?
The rent at that time was at a reduced amount. It was at $1,100 a month. Once Clay moved in with us, it was then increased to $1,600 a month.
When did Mr. Tripp sign the lease?
The lease was signed by both of us on May 1st, and I have a copy of that.
And prior to May 1st of 2004, you lived there for 1 year paying the rent all by yourself.
Correct, and I have a copy of the first page of that lease as well.
Okay. You had already paid $1,100 as security deposit. There was another $500 owed. Who paid the $500?
There was an additional $500 for the security deposit
That's
that
what I
was
said.
borrowed from my parents.
Is that correct, Mr. Tripp?
Your Honor, I'll have to say that, no, I believe I put the money up for that security deposit at that time.
You have a check?
No, I don't have a check. I paid in cash. We did, however, live together in that home from July of the year previously with the knowledge of the owner, who insisted we sign the lease come the next turn of events.
Ah, I see. So you lived there for almost a year.
Almost a year.
Paying $1,100 a month rent.
Precisely, which was below market, but it was right next to...
And how much did you contribute of the $1,100?
Half.
Is that right?
Yes.
Where is the father of your 2 children?
My 14-year-old's father lives in Mira Mesa.
How much child support does he pay?
He pays $335 a month.
Father of your other child?
He lives in Colorado, and he pays $300 a month.
Okay, let's get to the rent. When did you move out, sir?
I moved out December 1st.
What precipitated your moving out?
The tensions had increased over finances, and basically she told me to get out of her house in no uncertain terms.
Is that right, Miss Rushworth?
Minus a few details is correct.
So you told him to leave?
That was because he threw water at me. He threw a glass of water at me, and then after that...
So was what you're telling me, you want the rent on this house from December when he left until the end of the lease in May?
Yes.
You're not going to get it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheila Rushworth says ex-boyfriend Clay Tripp owes for breaking an apartment lease and for household bills.
You were living there with your 2 children, so that you were 3 people, he's 1 person, and yet from the time he moved in, he paid half the bills. So, quite honestly, I don't know what you're doing here with regard to the rent.
That's exactly why we're here, because the 2 of us couldn't decide on the rent and how it should be handled. As far as the other remaining portion of it, the monthly bills that we had, household bills that we had in effect at the time he left, is all I'm asking for him to pay his share of. the SDG&E, the trash, the water, the cable.
Well, how much does that come to?
When you take off the rent, it's about $1,000.
And when he gave you money prior to you having difficulty, did he give you money by check or cash for these bills?
He would give me cash depending on the amount of his check, but for the 3 months prior to this event occurring, he was having his wages garnished by the IRS, so they would take $1,200 of his check. If he only had $300 or $400 out of the check, he might give me $100 of it.
That's what happens when you play house.
Sure, that's exactly, and that's what I mean by
well,
sometimes it was more.
Then I've just resolved the issue for you, madam.
The items that he's saying he's paid.
I've just resolved the issue for you, madam. It's over. It's over. He played house for a while. It didn't work out. He does not strike me as a deadbeat. What he did was say to you, I am in effect assisting and supporting your children.
He also would work from home.
So what difference does that make?
Which facilitates...
No. Shh.
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't make any difference. Miss Rushworth. If he worked out of your home, that means he worked out of the home that he had before you, I assume.
Which was with me. For 6 years, we lived together.
Oh, so why are you telling me, madam, that this was a relatively recent thing?
Clay and I moved in together in September of 1999. After 2 years of living there, he left on a moment's notice. I was evicted. We got back together. He never once made up for it. He moved in with me at the apartment when I was living there because he was evicted from his place.
He didn't move in with you, madam.
I let him move in with me.
Listen.
He's been...
Miss Rushworth.
Yes.
It's over.
Yes.
The rent is over. The gas bill is over. I'm not interested in the rent and the gas bill. I'm interested in the final part of your claim, which is that he filed false allegations against you, which required you to defend a protective order.
The allegations he filed, I did not say were false. I just said he filed allegations and then didn't bother to show up at the hearing.
He's allowed to do that.
I felt
He's
just arbitrarily not show up after I'm required to attend the hearing?
Absolutely. Very often people say, listen, the allegations are true, but we had a long-term relationship. All I wanted to do was stop harassing me. So I'm going to file this. I'm going to give her a wake-up call. Wake up. It's over. Don't call me anymore.
He only did that at the instance of his girlfriend. His girlfriend is the one who instigated it because the restraining order was restraining me from contacting her.
And he's filed one for every girlfriend he's had over the last 12 years.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but she's leaving a lot out.
Just a second. She's not leaving anything out that I require.
Okay.
So, Miss Rushworth, he's moved on. What you're annoyed about is that he moved on before you were finished with each other.
No. I'm actually more annoyed at the fact that he's, slept with my best friend. Now they're having a baby. And now they're doing all kinds of stuff. And so there's a whole lot of other issues.
I tried to say that more delicately, that he moved on with his life.
At this point, that's exactly where it comes to, and I appreciate you pointing that out.
I'm just saying that it's a little more, I would try to say it a little more delicately than you did. He moved on with his life before you were finished with your life together. And that was aggravating. You had a 6-year relationship, not just a year relationship. And I can imagine that you are really angry. Time to say, period.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
May I?
And I say the same. Period.
Your Honor. May I give him the remaining documents that I had at the house that he doesn't have?
You give them to Bird.
Great.
Bird will take care of it. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Hey.
Calendar in the matter of Blankenship versus DeFrancesco. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Blankenship, according to what I read, you and the defendant met at a bar, and he came home with you the same evening and stayed for a while. And according to your complaint, you had an agreement with him that he was going to pay you rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he stayed with you, 3-4 weeks. He didn't pay any rent. And then you got into some sort of an altercation with him and claimed that he assaulted you.
Yes.
Mr. DeFrancesco says there was never an agreement to pay you rent, that he spent 5 months in jail because you made false charges of assault against him. He was ultimately released, and you want a certain amount of money for rent and $1,500 for this alleged assault.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. On what day did you meet Mr. DeFrancesco?
It was the beginning of May.
In the evening?
Yes.
And you met him for the first time?
Yes, I did.
And he came home with you?
Yeah, we ended up going to my house. We were going to have a drink at my house. 3 days later, he's still at my home.
Okay, 3 days later, did you say? Yeah. Well, 3 days later, I assume you let him stay. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, tell me about this agreement that you allege about rent.
Well, as I said, 3 days later, he's still at my house. He informed me that he didn't have any place to go. He had just gotten out of jail, which I wish I had known that, or else if I had, I wouldn't have let him come to my home. Told me he had nowhere to go, and we had both decided, let's try a fast, instant relationship, see what happens. Told him he wasn't going to live with me for nothing. He said he was a hard worker. He had no problem paying me $125 a week. The 30 days that he was with me, he worked maybe 2 days. All of his money went on cocaine. So that's what basically he felt that he was going to be doing at my house. And towards the end of it, I said I had enough.
Now, towards the end of it, I had enough is what I want to hear about, the night of this alleged assault. I'd like you to tell me in your own words what happened, Miss Blankenship.
We had been drinking at my house that day.
You do a lot of drinking?
Yeah, we had been out.
And he does a lot of drinking?
Yeah.
Do you also do drugs, or you just drink?
I didn't skip back into drugs until I hooked up with Bobby.
So then the answer is So then the answer is for the 30 days that you were together in your house, you were both drinking and doing drugs?
Yes.
And I assume he was purchasing the drugs?
No, I was. He didn't have any money.
Okay, so you were purchasing the drugs and giving it to him?
Basically, we were doing them together.
No. If you bought them and gave them to him. Is that what you're telling me? Oh. So tell me about the last night that you were together, the night of this alleged assault.
We had been out at one of the local bars drinking. We got I believe it was a 12-pack, went back to my house. When that was all done, we went back out drinking. I suggested that we get something to eat. I was going to get Chinese food. He said, fine, went home. I was getting the food ready, putting it on plates and everything. I turned around. Bobby's leaning up against the counter with his pants down to the floor, offering me something other to eat than the Chinese food.
And?
I was quite appalled by this whole thought at the moment. I went into the living room. I sat down. I figured I'd try and calm down for a few minutes. I went into the kitchen. He's now eating the Chinese food.
By this time, he's dressed himself?
Yeah.
And he's eating the Chinese food?
Yes.
And what happened?
I asked him if he wanted some rice with the food, and I threw a box of beef fried rice at him.
So you assaulted him with the rice?
No, I threw the rice at the floor.
No, your hand motion was?
Well, I threw the rice, but it wasn't at him physically. It was at the floor.
Well, that's not what you say in your complaint, by the way. You say that you started to throw the Chinese food at him.
In his direction.
In his direction. Okay. And what happened after you were throwing the Chinese food in his direction?
Well, I ended up asking him if he needed some sweet sauce with it. After that, we ended up getting into an argument. It boiled down to I was sitting at a chair at the kitchen table trying to figure out what we were going to do with this relationship. We got into an argument. He lunged over the kitchen table, grabbed me by the throat, and started to strangle me.
Miss Blankenship, you left something out, madam, that you put in your complaint. And that was that there was a time that Mr. DeFrancesco just said, I want to get out of here. And that was before you started with the food fight.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to go to the door to leave and get his clothes and leave. And you say in your complaint that you prevented him from leaving.
I, for whatever stupid reasons, didn't want him to take his clothes at the time. I felt that he owed me money for being there, and I figured that we'd straighten it out at some other time.
So you blocked the door?
I blocked the door.
And it was after you blocked the door that he lunged at you?
Shortly after that.
Now, you called the police and had him arrested?
When I could get to a phone, I called the police. He ripped the phones out of the wall.
Now, when did you finally get to the police?
After I got his hands off my throat.
Okay. So he took his hands off your throat, you called the police, and I assume you let him leave at that point.
I didn't let him leave. He went running out the door. This is after he pulled the alarm system out of the wall. I tried calling 911 from 2 telephones. He kept pulling the phones out of my hand, pressing the off button.
At that point, I assume, Miss Blankenship, that you were ready to let him leave.
Yeah.
Now, what hospital did you go to?
I didn't.
So if you didn't go to a hospital, I assume you weren't injured.
I was injured, but there wasn't anything that I felt that they could do to me
that
was going to make the marks go away.
How were you injured?
By him strangling me. I had marks on my arm, on my face.
Did you take any photographs
of it?
I have the
police report and pictures.
I'd like to see.
Plus, I didn't go right to the hospital, or I didn't go to the hospital because the police wanted me to go to the police station. I was down there for about 3-4 hours.
I noticed that in your statement to the police, you didn't tell the police that Mr. DeFrancesco wanted to leave, or that the mess that they observed in the kitchen of the Chinese food all over the place was the result of you throwing it all over the place. How come you didn't tell them that?
Well, I don't recall whether I did or didn't.
You didn't. Trust me, you didn't.
Well, regardless of that, he has no right to try to strangle me.
You had no right to try to keep him in the house.
Well, I didn't physically block his entrance from leaving.
That's what you
the
said.
door
That's
was
exactly.
right there.
That's exactly what you said.
I stopped him from getting his clothing, not from walking out the door.
No, that's not what you said, madam. You said, when I returned, I was still so angry that I started to throw food at him. He was going to get his stuff and leave, but I was too angry to let him leave with his clothes. I blocked the door.
I blocked the door from him getting his clothes in the bedroom.
So why didn't you let him get his clothes? You were both too drunk.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your Honor, she assaulted me on other occasions, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I don't hit women.
Mr. DeFrancesco, how come you spent 5 months in jail?
I was on probation, but I was charged with assault with intent to murder, and intimidating a witness.
And later today,
I was trying to do her a favor. That's it.
You did do her a favor.
Yeah.
Then what are you bothering me for?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cindy Blankenship says ex-boyfriend Robert DeFrancesco owes for strangling her. Robert says Cindy threw Chinese food at him.
Madam, he'd been drinking, according to you, for days. Drinking and doing drugs for days. All right, I'm prepared to hear you, Mr. DeFrancesco.
Your Honor, I first met Cindy. She's right, I did
I
get out
heard
of jail.
that how you met her. You met her at a bar. You went home with her and you stayed too long.
No, I went home with her, and that night I left. She at 5 in the morning. Some other gentleman called, and I had to leave. And she brought me to my brother's house. And then the next day I went to see her. We did some gardening work, whatever. And
could you look at me instead of looking over there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Off and on, we stayed together for about 3 weeks. I'd see her for a few days. It would be okay. Then she'd start yelling at me for stupid little things, and it would get all crazy. And I'd say, I'm going to leave. So one time she called the police, and I'd already left. But
he was trying to run my household.
Could you look at me when you're speaking, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor. When the cops came, they just came because she just wanted me to leave, and I'd already left. So I told her, I said, I'm on probation and stuff like that. I can't have any problems with the police, so I don't think this is going to work out. So to make a long story short, we'd gone back and forth.
You're still looking over there?
Back and forth, and then another time the police came to get me. The same thing. I just left. I had my bag of clothes. It was raining out. I left.
You shouldn't be drinking with her, sir. I mean, but the problem is you're two drunks living together.
Well, Your Honor, the day in question of the day that I got arrested, I was working all day. I was working all day. She was at the bar. She was supposed to be going to get her motorcycle license or whatever, but it got done early. She came home. So then I got upset with her. I'd already told her a few times, if this continues, we're not going to stay together. I can't handle this. You're too abusive.
It was the other way around,
me.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, she assaulted me on other occasions, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I don't hit women. She was hitting me.
Mr. DeFrancesco, how come you spent 5 months in jail? Were you on probation or parole?
I was on probation, but I was charged with assault with intent to murder, and intimidating a witness.
Okay.
That's what I was charged with.
Okay. And those charges were ultimately tossed?
They were dropped because she pled the fifth, because she didn't want to perjure herself.
Well, for whatever reason. They should have been dropped a long time ago. What had you just been released from jail for?
Assault and battery, malicious damage. I got into a big fight at a bar. I did like 2 years.
Mr. DeFrancesco, may I suggest to you, sir, that you are not a good drunk? Do you understand? You're not a good drunk. And if you're going to continue to drink, I wouldn't take up with somebody who is also a bad drunk. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
That's
right. How old are you, sir?
I'm 42 years old.
You look every day of it, Mr. DeFrancesco. You're getting old before your time, sir.
Well, Your Honor, I did try to leave. That's why, that's why I feel it's bogus.
Mr. Blankenship, you don't have a case. He didn't try to murder you. You were two drunks.
He didn't try to murder me,
Listen
Your
to
Honor. Why did they charge him with attempted murder from the marks all over me?
Listen,
why did I call 911?
I'm telling you why you called 911, because he finally got fed up with you, and he probably did try to choke you. That's why. That's not attempted murder, just like you throwing Chinese food at him is not assault. You want to drink and do drugs with somebody who also drinks and does drugs? That's what happens. What are you bothering me for? Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I tried to get out of the relationship, and it just ended up being violent.
It's obviously started a different way from him dropping his drawers to the floor and so on, making any type of sexual advances that he wanted to happen. So, I mean, it's insane.
Those are personal issues. That's stuff that normal people do, you know. It's just that it just got carried away.
Him and I being together, drinking, you know, not knowing what kind of relationship we were going to get into. So I wish it had never started from the beginning.
Of course, if you drink and drug, it's going to cause problems, you know. But what she stated, you know, that just shows it's one of her traits. You know what I mean? She just talks crazy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Trathan versus Riffett, step forward, please.
Maintenance technician Joseph Trathan is suing his ex-girlfriend, inventory auditor Joelle Riffett, for the balance on a Dodge Stratus. Joelle claims the vehicle is Joseph's responsibility.
Mr. Trathan, according to your complaint, the defendant, who was your girlfriend, you have a child together, owes you for some money for a car.
Yes.
And Miss Riffett, I don't know. I tried to figure out her answer, but it was all kind of very soft. She says you agreed to assume the losses for the car when you sold it. However, we're going to ferret out the truth. When did you purchase this car along with Miss Riffett? In what year?
I co-signed, I believe, in '01.
When did you buy the car?
June of 2000.
What kind of car did you buy?
A Dodge Stratus.
It was your car?
Yes.
And he co-signed the loan because you couldn't get it without his co-signature, is that right?
We actually were both on the loan equally. It was...
Because you couldn't get it by yourself?
It was a lower interest that way.
Because you couldn't get it by yourself?
Yes.
And you kept the car from June of 2000 until when?
April 2004.
And what did you do with it?
Well, what happened was I left the house. I left him in October, and I tried maintaining the payments.
October of 2003?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing it. I had an apartment on my own, and I was trying to raise both my children, and I was having a hard time struggling making the payments because they were $330. Okay. And we had discussed it, and I asked him if he can help me out by taking the car because I can't afford it no more, so I can get a less expensive car. And the day before I gave it back to him, I called him and said, hey, Nissan called me, and they said they got a car for me for $4,500, which made my payments to be $170. Are you still willing to take it? Because I still had one more day to tell Nissan I didn't want it if he didn't agree. So he said, yeah, that's fine. We made arrangements. I dropped it off the car, and I put both sets of keys underneath the driver's seat. And after that, after I dropped it off on the 30th, I thought everything was done and fine. We were on good terms. I wasn't expecting any of this.
How much child support does he pay?
He pays me $205 now, but at the time...
Don't tap.
Okay.
$205 a what?
A week.
And how much child support do you get from the father of your other child?
$100 a week.
So you get twice that from him?
Now.
What were you getting before?
He was only giving me $100 a week.
And when did it double? Put your hand down.
September.
You're the girlfriend?
I'm the fiance, ma'am.
Fiance. We don't need you. We don't need to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Good.
On September 27th, we went to court, and that's when they distinguished $205 a week.
Now, sir, Miss Riffett says that you agreed to take... Stop shaking your head. You look like making me seasick. Miss Riffett says that you agreed to take the car and sell it. I assume sell it. Is that right?
No.
Well, tell me what you agreed to do.
I agreed to try to help her sell the car. I talked to my neighbors, some people at work, try to get rid of the car if I could.
Well, when she told you she wanted to get rid of the car, what did you say to her?
I said I would try... I would say I would try to help you get rid of the car if I could. If I can't, that's your responsibility. It was your car. I'm not going to take the loss.
You told her that? You told her those things?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said it's not my...
And what happened when she dropped the car off with the keys at your house?
Well, I didn't want to take on the responsibility of the extra car payment, or if I couldn't make it, going against my credit. So I gave myself like a month time limit to try to get rid of it because my neighbor was talking to her mom about trying to buy it. And then she got a hold of me. I couldn't sell it to her, so I went to CarMax, see how much they could offer to me for it.
Why didn't you try to sell it privately, put an ad in the paper?
Because I didn't want to continue making the payments. And also, if she's saying she couldn't afford it, when she moved out of the house, we split the equity in the house. I gave her a $10,000 check for the equity of the house several months later, which she knew she was going to get money for that.
You shouldn't have taken the car, sir. You have to have a contract with her.
I didn't take it. She left it on me.
Not have taken the car. You should have taken it back to her with the keys and said, this is your problem, this is your car, you've had it for 4 years, I'm not doing anything with it. But once you assume the responsibility by trying to sell it and then going ahead and selling it to somebody else, you can't come back against her for the difference. You didn't have a contract with her.
I was trying to do her a favor. That's it.
That's fine. You did her a favor. You did do her a favor.
Yeah.
Then what are you bothering me for?
Because, and then she's saying she couldn't afford it, but she, what, gave it to me in April? That's 5 months later.
You have to have a contract with her, an agreement, oral, written. And the oral or written agreement says, if you sell the car at a loss, I will pay the difference. You didn't have that contract with her.
No, but I know I couldn't let it sit there and not have anyone make payments on it. She could give me
What
half
happens,
the
sir,
money.
is that after she stops making payments, they're going to repossess the car. If she let that happen. Now, she may not have let that happen because she has a job and she doesn't want her credit destroyed. But once you assume the responsibility by selling the car without a contract, oral or written, with her, you cannot then come to court and say, well, she should have done this. She should have made the payments. She should not have put me in that position. She should not have dropped the car off at my house. She dropped the car off, you took the car, and you sold it. That's your problem.
But I was trying to do the right thing.
Good.
And I didn't want it affecting my credit. It would have been too late if I would have waited for something like that.
I have to tell you, sir, I'm very sympathetic with you. You should not have done it. This is a court. Courts deal with contracts. You did not have a contract with her.
I have
So you're
contracts
out
on
of
how
luck.
much I paid
Sorry.
on it.
President versus Scott. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Horner, this sort of comes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
My daughter-in-law?
You and your wife befriended Mr. Scott. He had been a friend of your son's?
Correct.
And at some point, you allowed him to move into your home.
Yes.
Where's your family?
My parents live in Plainville, Massachusetts. I'm currently residing with them.
Was there any reason why you weren't residing with them when you moved in with the Horners?
When I graduated from high school, I kind of made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to be one of those kids that stays living with their parents, and I had moved out. And my roommate at the time decided he wanted to move back in with his parents, and I still, you know, didn't want to move back in and be one of those kids. And they had offered for me to move in and pay rent, so I had taken them up on the offer, and I was paying $75 a week to live with them.
And you were also doing some work for them.
Yes, ma'am. I was working for Mark's wife, Susan, as a maintenance worker, and I had also worked during the Patriots games for Mark at one of his sausage stands.
That's your business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what the lawsuit is about. At some point, Mr. Scott was driving a truck of yours, and he rear-ended somebody and caused some damage to the front end of your truck.
Yes, ma'am.
You agreed with him that he would either pay the deductible, which was $1,000, or fix the truck.
Yes.
Did you do either of those two things?
No, ma'am. When this originally happened...
No, just answer my question. So the answer is no.
No, ma'am.
And sometime later, you and your wife were going away for a holiday. Mr. Scott was remaining in the house, and according to your complaint, you said to him, no parties.
Correct.
You came back unexpectedly because there was a death in the family, and you found evidence of party.
Looked like he partied like a rock star.
And subsequently, you found the hot tub cover ripped.
Not only ripped, but there was food particles, cigarette butts, beer caps floating in the hot tub.
In the hot tub. Nasty.
Nasty.
And you and Mr. Scott then got into a heated discussion. He left.
Correct.
And when he left his bed and his bicycle, which he wants back, which is the subject of his counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
He says that you told him until you sign a promissory note to pay for the damage to the hot tub and the truck, you don't get your stuff back.
Correct.
Mr. Scott says that you told him to forget about the truck.
When the accident had originally occurred, the deductible, I was told the deductible was $500, and we had come to an agreement where I wouldn't have to pay it because the person he was supposedly selling the truck to hadn't paid anything for it, and the truck was 13 years old and had over 200,000 miles on it, and it was only about a softball-sized dent in the front bumper.
I have pictures of the truck.
Okay, so according to you, he said forget about it.
Yes.
And about the damage to the hot tub?
Actually, I have my witness here, Leanne. She's a friend of mine. She was at the house Sunday when they had come home, and she can testify that there was no rip in the hot tub cover Sunday when we were done, and we were not the last people in the hot tub cover. I had come home Tuesday night with a friend of mine, and Susan and Mark's daughter-in-law and her husband, Susan's son Peter, were in the hot tub, and we believe
You mean
that.
with the sausages and the cigarette butts?
No, that stuff had been taken out and cleaned.
Mr. Scott, the Horners allowed you to live with them, and Mr. Horner has no question asked you not to, no parties. You violated that trust by having a party.
We had actually, I had only had about 5 friends over.
Throughout the entire time that you were there, Mr. Scott?
No, but I never
Mr.
thrown a
Scott,
party
look,
there,
I
no.
want you to watch it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had 20-year-olds, a whole gaggle of them. When 20-year-olds know that there's a free house, it's never just 5 people. Mr. Scott, do you understand? So if you want me
Yes,
to
ma'am.
believe other things that you're telling me, and I'm sure you do, I'm going to ask you again. How many people were at the house
There was only 5 people there.
at one time?
Yes, because I had lived in 2 previous houses before I moved in with Mark and Susan, where I'd paid the mortgage myself, and I had pretty much gotten the partying out of my system. I quit drinking. I don't drink anymore, and it's just we were hanging out, having a good time, trying to unwind on a weekend.
Well, who do you think it was that was a pig in the group of 5 that you had then, who put food in the hot tub and cigarette butts and cans? Which
It was my
one
buddy
of your
Greg.
5 friends?
It was my buddy Greg. He had admitted to it.
He had admitted to it before they found it?
Well, I had told him that they had found parts of a sausage in the hot tub, and there were beer caps and everything, and he said, oh, the sausage was probably from me because he was the only one eating in the hot tub.
So I assume that if you had seen him eating in the hot tub, Mr. Scott, you would have said to him, we don't do that.
I should have.
Did you see him?
I did, and I didn't say anything to him.
Did you see him smoking in the hot tub?
I did. Everybody was smoking in the hot tub.
And throwing their cigarette butts in the hot tub?
I didn't see anybody throw a cigarette butt in the hot tub. And
Well,
I
did you
didn't,
take out ashtrays for everybody?
There were ashtrays out there.
Did anybody use them? You must have been aware of that unless you had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am, people did use them. The next day, when we were going through the hot tub, we had only found parts of sausages in the filter. I didn't see any cigarette butts in the hot tub at all. And
Well,
I didn't
Mr.
see any
Scott,
beer
let me
caps.
tell you this. When you abuse a privilege, I have to assume that the people who disrespected the Horner's property also ripped their cover.
Okay.
Because otherwise, why would Mr. Horner claim, after being so nice to you, they were nice to you, weren't they?
Well, the whole relationship we had was there was a lot of verbal abuse there. Mark especially was constantly putting me down, calling me, and I'm quoting him here, he was always calling me a dump. Him and his wife were both always calling me a dump. He called me a pardon my French, on numerous occasions, and he used to go around bragging to everybody that I was his because I was helping out around the house and still paying $75 a week. And I had just, at the time, I had just gone with all of this because I didn't want to cause any tension because I was living there under their roof.
Do you have children?
I do.
How many children?
I have 3 children.
How old are they?
My oldest is 23, and then I have
Where is the 23-year-old?
My 23-year-old is in the service. He's stationed at Fort Campbell in Kentucky.
And then you have
I have a 20-year-old.
Where is that child?
He lives with his girlfriend.
Well, that doesn't warm my heart. And what else?
And I have a 16-year-old at home.
And I have a 9-year-old.
Who lives with?
Her mother.
Who you visit?
Constantly.
And support?
Yes.
Mr. Scott says that you called him a lot of vile names. Is that true?
I definitely called him a dump.
When did you do that?
He got, I believe it was his 12th or 13th moving violation and lost his driver's license. So we particularly told him that he was a dump for that. He lost...
Just a second.
It was my 8th in 4 years.
Just a second. 8th in 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
He's right.
Ma'am, that wasn't the only occasion.
Just a second. Well, I'm going to get the rest of them. But right now, that would have been worth at least a couple.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want to find out if they did, in fact, call you a dump. If they had good reason to do that. 8 moving violations in 4 years fits.
And later today.
If you had to make a choice as to whether Mrs. Ramos or your 9-year-old son was telling you the truth, who would you pick?
I would pick my son, of course.
Well, then you would pick wrong.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mark Horner claims former tenant Jacob Scott damaged his truck and ripped his hot tub cover. Jacob is countersuing for the return of his bed and mountain bike.
I could tell that you are presenting yourself as a young man who is totally responsible and thoughtful, and you sound that way.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at these people and I'm saying to myself, this is not a couple that brought you into their home to use as a slave and berate you. So I want to find out if they did, in fact, call you a dump, if they had good reason to do that. 8 moving violations in 4 years fits.
He also had 2 while he was waiting for his suspension to come over.
And so that was worth at
So
least 2 more.
Yeah, so they took his license away.
Got it?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. let's sort of cut to the chase here because I don't want to torture you any further.
Thank you.
You have to. You're welcome. Because I don't want to hear anything else about you because you wore a tie to court and speak well, and I'm sure you're going to try to put your life together. This is your...
This is my friend Leanne.
Not a girlfriend?
No.
You weren't eating sausages in the hot tub, Leanne. You have to give him back his bed and his bike. He's going to pick it up within 5 days.
Thank you.
I'd like to see the pictures of the truck.
Ma'am?
What?
The one thing I'm concerned about with the bed is there was an incident back when Mark's father died. He was having some trouble with his brother, and he had actually taken pictures of him urinating on his brother's bed. And I'm just worried that they had done something to my bed while it was in their possession.
I'm not going to dignify that question with an answer. Do you want your bed back or not?
Yes, ma'am.
I have pictures of the bed, Your Honor, if you want to see them.
No, I don't have to see pictures of the bed. I'm looking at the front end of this truck. It looks like a little dent, sir. Does it interfere with its driving?
It does not interfere with its driving. There's a tow hook that was smashed off the bottom of it. The grill is cracked. I have an estimate here from the body shop.
Let me see the estimate. Okay. How much is a new hot tub cover, or how do you fix that?
It wasn't, it had to be replaced. Here's the
Okay.
receipt. It was
How much was it?
It was $398 plus tax.
He's responsible for the tax. How much was the tax?
$420.
You living back with your folks, Mr. Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Actually, in October, I'm going to be moving down to St. Petersburg, Florida.
To do what?
For a change, I'm going to become a construction worker down there. That's what I do up here, but just to get away from New England and a new scenery.
Where it's
really.
warm.
Exactly.
Who do you know in St. Petersburg?
A friend of mine lives down there, so a close friend of mine. I grew up with her, so she's got an apartment down there. She's going to school down there, and
You might want to try that, Mr. Scott. School is not terrible.
I was thinking about it, but I work 7 days a week now. I love to work. Both my jobs, I landscape on the weekends, and I'm a construction worker on the weekdays.
You have your driver's license back?
No, ma'am, I do not. I actually get it back in 21 days.
Try to hold on to it this time, please,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Scott. Get your bed back and your bike in 5 days. Judgment for the plaintiff on you claim $1,420. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was like, what kind of pig would do this to somebody who tried to help him?
Can't wait to move away from this area and away from that family.
He drinks a lot and he does a lot of drugs.
I had a few friends over, and I don't do drugs.
I'm glad she saw Jake Scott as the dump he really is.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ramos versus Trent. Step forward.
Alice Ramos is suing neighbor D'Angelo Trent for damages to her car. Alice says D'Angelo's son, 9-year-old D'Angelo Jr., crashed into her vehicle with his bike.
Mrs. Ramos, it is your complaint that this little boy right over here was on his bicycle, fell off of his bicycle, and scratched your car. You want his father to pay for the scratch on the car. Is that right? And Mr. Trent says?
Not a chance.
When did this happen?
June 19th of 2004.
Were you at home at the time?
Yes, it was a Saturday. We had had a yard sale at my residence, and this child here had been riding his bicycle the better part of the day, up and down.
What's your name?
D'Angelo Trent Jr.
D'Angelo?
Yes.
Did you know him before?
I've seen him
June
in the
19th?
neighborhood, but I didn't know whose child he was.
But you had seen him before?
Oh, yes.
For how long?
He's lived in our neighborhood as long as I can recall.
So you know him. This isn't a child who you hadn't seen 100 times before.
Oh, definitely.
Alice Ramos says neighbor 9-year-old D'Angelo Trent Jr. damaged her car when he crashed his bicycle. D'Angelo's father, D'Angelo Sr., claims his son doesn't own a bike.
So what did you see when he fell off the bike?
He bumped into the bumper of my car, and he fell off his bicycle. At that point, I was not concerned about my car. Myself, my nephew Andrew, and my niece all ran out to the street to see if he was okay. He seemed okay, but he fell awfully hard for how quickly he jumped back up.
And subsequently, you found a scratch on your car?
When we first checked, we saw what looked like rubber scraping on the bumper of the car. And I told the little boy, before he took off, I told him, that's okay, this can be buffed out, you can go. So he jumped on his bike and he took off. More scared than hurt, I think. And 10 minutes later, he comes back with another young man on the handlebars. And he and his friend got off, and he started to show the friend what he had done. Well, unbeknownst to us, we were more concerned in the beginning about his welfare. We didn't really inspect the car. I saw the rubber scrapes on the bumper. But he's showing him another area of the car which we had not seen. And there is a scrape on the trunk.
You have a picture of it?
No, I don't.
Why don't you have a picture of it?
As I go on to the story, you'll see why.
Okay.
There was a good gash to where the whole paint and primer, everything came off right down to the metal. And it was right at the height about where the handlebars are.
So what did you do next?
I said, did you do this with your bike? And he said, he nodded his head, yes. I said, well, then you can't leave. I need to talk to you. He looked at me wide-eyed, scared, started to cry, jumped back on his bike, and took off, and left his little friend there. I asked his friend, do you know who this little boy is? I've seen him in the neighborhood many times, but I don't know who he is. And he says, yes, that's D'Angelo's son. And I said, D'Angelo, I know D'Angelo. I've known D'Angelo, the father, since he was knee-high to a grasshopper, since he grew up in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So I said, can you take me to his house? So he walked.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Ms. Ramos, did Mr. D'Angelo say that he would take care of the problem?
Absolutely.
And that's why you had it fixed and you didn't take a picture? I'm just running ahead because that sounds like what you're going to tell me.
Yeah, I didn't take a picture because I had to call the police because we could not locate him, the father.
Why?
Because there was no one at the house. The house was all opened up, windows, doors, everything was opened up at the house. There was nobody there.
Okay, so when the police came, he said he would fix
He told the police officers he would take care of it between me and him.
Okay, stop. And you had it fixed. How much did it cost you to have it fixed?
$300.
You have a receipt?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
He was there.
He was there.
How long have you known Mrs. Ramos?
22 years.
She a nice lady?
Nice lady.
Seems like a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Seems like a caring lady. Is concerned about your son?
Right.
More concerned about your son than her car?
Right.
Why don't you pay her the $300?
Because my son doesn't own a bike. He was on the pegs of that
He
bike.
was riding a bike that day. Now, Mr. Trent, you seem like an intelligent man, sir.
I am.
If you had to make a choice as to whether Mrs. Ramos or your 9-year-old son was telling you the truth, who would you pick? Who would you pick, sir? I haven't even spoken to him. I know who I would pick.
I know the child that was riding the bike, and I know he's nowhere in court. So I don't know why my son's here.
You weren't there. Mrs. Ramos, who you've known for 22 years,
right,
says that your son was the one who was riding the bike. You weren't home. So I'm going to go back to my original question. If you had to make a choice as to whether your 9-year-old son, D'Angelo, was telling the truth or Mrs. Ramos was telling the truth, who would you pick?
I would pick my son, of course.
Well, then you would pick wrong. Your son, and you weren't there, was riding the bike. Look at me, D'Angelo. Isn't that right?
No.
Baloney.
Judge, when you ask her if there were two people there was a person riding and he was on the pegs.
No.
Please ask her.
She said he was riding the bike. Is that what you told me?
That's right.
Was there 2 children there?
No. When the incident happened, there was only one child on the bike.
When he came back, she said there were 2 people. He was riding and there was another child on the handlebars. And then when she went out there and confronted them, he got scared and left the other kid there. And if he's not telling you that story,
the other child
I take him out to the barn. Judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may start. This is case number 192 on the calendar in the matter of Waters versus Flat.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Waters, do you have a problem that requires you to wear a visor and sunglasses?
Yes, ma'am. I have a letter from the doctor here.
Could I see it, please?
Yes.
All right, well, this is a letter requesting permission for you to wear the visor and glasses.
Yes.
So I have no objection.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Waters, this young lady is your stepdaughter.
Yes.
And her husband.
Yes.
And this gentleman?
Is my husband.
This is your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint alleges that you loaned your stepdaughter and her husband a little over $10,000.
Yes.
And they have repaid half.
A little less than half.
And you want the balance.
Yes.
Your stepdaughter and her husband say they've paid you back all that they have to because they did some work, some barter for you that took care of the balance of the loan. That's your defense. Is that right? How much money did she borrow from you?
Total? Probably about $70,000.
What did you borrow the money for?
For car payments. She paid insurance. There is a payoff balance there from a vehicle that she had taken.
For a car?
Right.
That you needed?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how much money did you borrow from your mother?
Her or my real mother?
Your biological mother?
None.
None? How much money did you borrow from your father?
None.
So it sounds to me, from your mother and your father, you got squat. From your stepmother, you got a whole bunch, right?
Right.
Now, you paid her back $4,000. She says she's loaned you over the years a lot more than $10,000. So now you are going to explain to me why you didn't pay her back the rest. Who's speaking?
Well, first of all, it all started out where we were getting behind.
Why were you getting behind?
On trying to get everything paid.
Why?
Financially.
We were financially in a rut, Your Honor, and...
Why were you in a rut? You're two young people. How many children do you have?
2.
2. Do you work?
Yes.
Do you work?
Yes.
Well, I have slow seasons at my work, and then we weren't making the bills, and Miss Waters took on a couple loans for us. That's how...
Well, that was really nice of her. You have mother and father?
Yes.
Did they give you money to pay off your bills?
No. If they had,
Yeah,
they
brother.
would.
What?
If they had, they would,
That's always a good answer. If I had it, I'd give you anything I had. All I wish to have is that I had it. So far, I've got your mother and father who gave you nothing, her mother and father who gave you nothing, and stepmother who gave you a lot. Right? I'm listening to a yes.
They helped us out, yes.
She helped you out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now I'm listening as to why you didn't pay her back. I'm listening.
We were renting a house from her. We did a bunch of repairs.
You were renting a house from her.
Yes.
So she had a house. Tell me about the house.
The house, originally when we first got married, she purchased a house for us, and we were buying the house off of her to a bank.
So she purchased a house, and she said to you, if you pay it off, it's yours. If you pay off the note, it's yours.
Yes.
Did she put any money down on the house?
I paid 100% of it. Their closing costs, their furniture, everything. All they had to do was move in.
And they were supposed to pay you back by paying rent every month?
Well, no, it was actually a mortgage set up at that time.
Oh, good.
So that they could get credit.
And how much were they supposed to pay you every month?
At that point, it was $435 a month.
What a bargain. Couldn't get that anywhere else, could you?
No, we got and we were paid on it.
So?
But 2 years went by, we ran into some problems where my mother-in-law wanted to take the house back into her name.
Why was that?
We ran into marital problems.
Yeah.
And instead of losing the house, my mother-in-law wanted to sign the house back over into her name.
Your Honor, before that, before they had the marital problems, they were over 3 months behind. I made arrangements with them at that time because I was going to go ahead and go into foreclosure because they were behind on their car payments, which Ford Credit was getting ready to come and repo. They called me. I had to send money to them to stop that. They were over 3 months behind on the mortgage. They talked me into stopping the foreclosure if I would give them a chance, and so I let them make month-and-a-half payments until they caught it up. Then they split up. And that time, my stepdaughter had actually moved in with another gentleman, and we allowed the grandchildren and Mr. Flat, Brandon here, to move in with my husband and I to help him out because everything was really chaotic at that time.
So far, does that sound right, Brandon? Did you go and live with them?
Yeah, for about a week or 2.
So they were very nice to you?
Grandchildren.
Well, you were there too, weren't you?
Yes.
You ate there, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You slept there?
Yes.
Ah, I got it. Why don't you owe her the rest of the money?
Well, we ended up getting back together, moved back into the house, and at this time, my mother-in-law owned the home, and at this time, she decided to rent us just the house.
She decided to what?
Rent us the house instead of mortgage payments.
Okay.
We did a bunch of repairs on the house, and
So?
she had an agreement where if I was going to help her do this work, she was going to sell us the house back, and she was going to use that money that I did on the work in the house as a down payment back to that house. That was a verbal agreement we had.
Is that right?
Somewhat.
What kind of an agreement did you have with him?
What happened was in October of 2003, they had come up and told me that they were not going to rent the house any longer when the lease ran out in March, I think it was. I told them at that point then I was going to have to do some renovations to the house and put it on the market to sell it because I needed to get out from under it because of the expenses. Then after some of the improvements that we were doing, we were, you know, adding to actually make it a 3-bedroom home. They decided they liked the landscaping and everything we were doing to it. It looked real nice again, so they told me they wanted to buy it. So we told them at that point in time, if they were going to buy it, they had to get their own mortgage, that we couldn't do it. You know, that was, we had done all we could do.
Right. Get your money, act like grown-ups, take care of yourself.
I told them, which basically wasn't legal, but I said, okay, if you help us finish this up so they can come in and do an appraisal on the house to help you get a mortgage, we'll say that you've put X amount of dollars down. So it'll make it easier for you to get this mortgage.
Gotcha. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Hey, why don't you turn around? Just look at him, okay? Now look at me. In 10 years, you won't remember what he looks like. I'm being serious with you. In 10 years, unless you have pictures around the house to look at, you will not remember what he looks like.
And later today...
What word of be quiet didn't you understand?
B.
You didn't understand B? Well, then try it again, because Bill Clinton, you're not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lucinda Waters says her stepdaughter, Kim Flatt, and her husband, Brandon, owe for loans to pay their bills. Lucinda also says the couple won't let her see the grandchildren.
So I'm still waiting to hear why you didn't pay your stepmother back and your mother-in-law back the money that you owe her.
Well, the last month we lived there, Your Honor, we were half a month behind, and she decided to evict us, so...
Why were you half a month behind?
Bills got caught.
Bills! You know, the two of you were like an accident looking to happen. You're old enough to make children, you're old enough to play house, but you're not old enough to take care of your business. This lady is not going to continue to take care of your business and to clean up after you. You have parents, they don't help you. You have brothers and sisters, who knows, and how many other relatives. Nobody else helps you except this lady here, and you pay her back by not paying her back. You two are an outrage. Do you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
You ought to thank her by kissing her anywhere she says. Instead of not paying her back what you owe her. Don't say anything else. Miss Waters, I'm not often prone to give advice and to talk about wise, age-old adages, but no good deed goes unpunished. You see, he's probably talking to his mother and father, who gave him nothing. Only, I'd give you anything I had if I had it, but I don't have it. She's probably still talking to her mother. She might even be talking to her father, who gave her nothing. The only one that they're not talking to is the one who was most generous and took care of them, and that's you.
And they won't even let me see the grandchildren.
Well, then they are stupid, insensitive babies, right? Because the only one that helped you is her. And it would seem to me that if you have children and the only grandparent that they can count on is her, then it would seem to me that you are really two of the dumbest people that I've met in a long time if you don't allow her to see her grandchildren.
They told me I would get a restraining order if I even tried to go see them.
Why is that?
Because look, she's trying to come after us for everything we ever had. She didn't always help us. She was always trying to bury us in financial debt every time she got a chance. Oh, I'll go buy you a car. And, you know, I need a car, so what can I do? I don't want my kids around somebody like that.
Where do you come from? Where do you come from? What jurisdiction do you come from? What
Florida.
state? Florida. Where in Florida?
Ocala.
They would have the water tested there. You owe her $5,000. And if you're smart and if you're sensitive, listen, see your first husband?
Yes.
Are you as dumb as he is?
No.
So you understand that he sounds very stupid. He does sound very stupid. You have children?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he the father of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were separated once?
Twice.
Twice. I want you to turn around, just look at him, okay? Now look at me. In 10 years, you won't remember what he looks like. I'm being serious with you. In 10 years, unless you have pictures around the house to look at, you will not remember what he looks like. Now I want you to look at her. You're going to always know what she looks like. She's going to be the staple in your life, not him. Now, quite frankly, you're irrelevant, but your children aren't irrelevant. You're going to have to rely on them. If you cut them off, you're as dumb as he is. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that I'm right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They think that they just can get it and they don't have to pay it back.
I really don't believe that I owed her the money.
I was told to get out of their home, which was my home at the time.
Blown out of proportion.
I just want us all to be a family again.
In the future, yeah, I do see it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Feynman versus Hernandez. Step forward.
Aspiring author Annie Feynman is suing her former astrologer, Anita Hernandez, for breach of confidentiality. Annie says Anita used her pen name without permission.
Miss Feynman, your lawsuit alleges that somehow Miss Hernandez published something with your name on it. It wasn't your name, it was a pen name that you use, and that people might recognize the pen name and attribute whatever problem it was to you. So I want you to explain to me and to Bird here, what did she publish, when did she publish it, why it caused embarrassment to you, and why you think that she breached some sort of confidentiality arrangement she had with you. Let's go.
Okay. I've been in a depression for a while, so I decided to consult an astrologer. And I gave her some personal details of what had been happening.
You're an astrologer?
Yes.
How did you find her?
I had been seeing her website for quite a while, and she's very...
On the internet?
Yes. She's a very interesting astrologer, and I thought this would be an interesting way to maybe solve some of the problems I'm having. So the email name I use, the Flame McBain email name...
The what?
Flame McBain, which happens to be the main character of a novel I wrote, which I'm sending out to get published. It isn't published yet. That's why I'm nervous about this information being sent all over the internet, because I'm afraid a scandal might come of it, because the information she put out in a newsletter...
Just a second. You're getting ahead of yourself. Oh. So you wanted her to do what?
I wanted a chart.
You wanted a chart?
Yeah, some astrological calculations as to what was happening. Very personal, embarrassing details.
Miss Feynman, you sent this over the internet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. So, along with personal details that you wouldn't want the stranger to know about.
I thought it was just going to Miss Hernandez. Well, you have a point.
What I want to see now is how you published her problem, because what she's complaining about is that you published her problem and people could identify her.
It's a limerick.
It's a limerick. I remember limericks from high school.
Ogden Nash.
Don't let them see that. Is this what you're complaining? I want you to take a look at that. Is this what you're complaining about?
Yeah, this is exactly what... She had sent out the newsletter. I didn't get it, coincidentally enough, but my friend did. My witness got it. That's how I found out about it.
Okay. Can I see it, please? Suffice it to say, without going into details, which would be even more embarrassing for you, because instead of a few people getting it on the internet, hopefully, since our courtroom is televised, hopefully tens of millions of people will be watching.
And won't know the details.
And won't know the details. So you were asking about a situation that you had that involved something personal.
Right.
And she responded by writing a little poem and identified you by the use of the name that you sent her, which was Flame McBain.
I've used this name for 8 years. People know that it's me. Had she just said my client, it wouldn't have been a problem.
It wouldn't have been a limerick.
Just a second. Just a second. Why did you use that name when you sent her?
I didn't. She used it from my email address.
Right. And she says clearly, no real names used.
Right, but I've used that name for 8 years. People know it's me.
So what? She didn't use any real names, and the only way she could convey to you things were by using your name.
Beyond what's happening now, I'm very nervous that if I do get published, that this would come out to be used against me in the future and cause me public embarrassment. I wanted to, like, get it over with now.
Her novel is about a hooker.
Listen.
Her novel is about a hooker.
Miss Hernandez, Miss Hernandez, put it away. Put it away. Miss Feynman, listen to me very carefully. Shh.
Third generation.
Shh. What word of be quiet didn't you understand?
B.
You didn't understand B?
B.
We're going to try it again, because Bill Clinton, you're not. If you're afraid that the name Flame McBain will come back and haunt you if your novel is published, is that what your real concern is? Change the name.
Change what name?
Flame McBain.
It's too late. It's copyrighted, and the book is...
Just a second. Nobody bought it yet. If somebody...
I have sold it unpublished.
Listen to me. If somebody buys it, change the name. Miss Feynman.
I can't do that.
Get it. Why can't you?
That's my character's name.
Change it if you're afraid of being embarrassed. Change the name.
Way too late for that. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Listen, if you don't want something to be out there in the general, wherever they put the
it's
things,
already
listen to me
copyrighted.
carefully, wherever they go in the internet, wherever things go in the internet, you know, into outer space, don't put it in writing. Nothing is private that's on the internet. And if you didn't learn that before, this is a very good lesson. And if you're not afraid of it being out there, but what your real fear is that it may negatively impact on your book, change the name of your heroine. Goodbye.
Party Allen versus K.V. Harris.
Thank you.
Quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Allen, you had a brother who recently passed away, rather young, I assume. He had diabetes and he went into a diabetic coma. The defendants were friends of his, and according to your complaint, they took a television set at your request when they were cleaning out his apartment. You said that you wanted $800 for the television set. They say that they were good friends, they did an awful lot of things for your brother, and that they can't believe that you are actually suing them for this $800 for this television set. When were you notified that your brother was hospitalized?
I was in the Caribbean at the time when he was when he was hospitalized.
You were on vacation?
Right, with my son. I didn't find out when he was in a coma until July 3rd when he was.
When did he go to the hospital?
The prior Thursday before that July 3rd is when I found him in the diabetic coma. 2 or 3 days before she even knew her brother was in a coma.
How many siblings are there?
Well, there was 4, and now there's 3.
Where are your parents?
My mom passed away last year, and I haven't seen my dad really for 23 years. He showed up for my brother's memorial, and that was it.
How old was your brother?
He was 30.
Was he ever married?
No.
Did he have any children?
No, he didn't.
Did he leave a will?
No, he didn't.
Tell me, Miss Allen, how it came about that the defendants got possession of this television set.
Gaetano had stated to me that
Who's Gaetano?
Right here, Your Honor.
Gaetano said that he wanted...
He had talked to my brother Billy on the 25th of June. That was a Friday, the day that I left for the Caribbean. Gaetano had stated that my brother wanted me to have the TV if anything were to happen to him.
Is that what you told her?
Yes, it was.
He had also some really high powered gas RC cars, and he said that Gaetano was to have those.
I don't know what an RC car is.
Remote control gas-powered cars.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just telling you.
Thank you. Okay, and according to you, her brother had said that he wanted his sister, this sister, to have the TV. Now, that's not necessarily binding, but it's something that he said to you.
Right. That is correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when we sat and we were clearing out Billy's apartment, we had a 32-inch TV that Billy had given to me. I told her that Billy wanted her to have the big screen. Her reaction was, I don't want the big screen. It doesn't fit in my apartment. So I said, why don't you take the 32-inch and we'll take the big screen. She agreed. No money was ever talked about, no money was ever included.
Okay. Did you take a 32-inch television from your brother's house?
I took it from my son.
But it was your television?
Correct. Billy had owed me money because we were the ones who took him to the hospital and paid for his insulin. We were the ones that always got him to the hospital. Matter of fact, the plaintiff was the one who called us, said, my brother's not feeling well. Can you go over there and check on him and get him to the hospital?
Okay, well, fine.
I have a tape saying that they were going to pay for the TV and that they thought it was too much money, so they decided that they weren't going to pay for it.
Okay, I'd like to hear that tape.
Hey, Dan, this is Allison. We just got your message. We actually talked about it and decided that we're not going to pay you for the TV because $800 is too much. We told you that we would pay you $5 or $6, I think it was, at the beginning, and you said well, you know, we've been friends with Billy forever. We took care of him when he was sick. We did everything for him. You guys weren't there for him. We were there for him. And by the way, we'd rather give Diane and Roger the money for the TV than you, because you're not dealing with any of this fairly. So if you have any questions, just give us a call back. Bye.
Well, that tape clearly indicates that you had an intention to pay for the television.
This is how the conversation took place. She calls us after she gave us the TV. She says, well, you know what, we found somebody that will buy the TV for $1,200. But since you were friends, we'll give it to you for $800. So this shocked us. We're like, wait a minute, I thought it was an even exchange. You know, I thought we were done. So we tried to negotiate with her and say, you know what, $800's just too much. Plus the TV was only originally worth around $1,300. No, we're not paying $800. So we tried to negotiate and lower the price. How far did the plaintiff go down? $750. Billy's family abandoned him. We were his family. We took him to the hospital. I called his family and told them that Billy's not doing well. He needs somebody to check on him every day. He's not going to make it a month if somebody does not. Okay? So anyways, she goes off to the Caribbean on the cruise. I go to check on him while she's out dancing in the Caribbean to see how he's doing. Okay? He's in a diabetic coma, panting, eyes glazed over.
Just a second.
She's dancing.
How sick was your brother when you left?
He was getting better. I talked to the hospital when he was released. They said he was fine. They sent him home with my other brother. My other brother took him home, and he was doing better. I talked to him that Friday.
Who's this?
This is my sister.
How far did she live from your brother?
Approximately 140 miles.
Who lives closest?
I live right downstairs below him.
When was he released from the hospital?
He was released the prior week, probably around June 20th.
Can I add how he...
No.
Okay.
Now, Miss Allen, what provisions did you make for somebody to check in on your brother every day while you were on vacation?
My brother Roger was supposed to check on him, and he actually said he went up there on July.
Where does your brother Roger live?
He lives in the same apartment building as well.
Okay. So your brother Roger was supposed to check on him every day?
Right.
But clearly did not.
He said he went up there and he thought he heard my brother like shuffle, like make a moaning sound, like go away type thing on probably, it was June 30th. He went up there and my brother was just like making a noise just to like go away. He doesn't want anybody visiting him. So he didn't go any further from that.
Wait a minute, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Her brother did go up there only because he called Gaetano to see what Gaetano was up to for the night, and we asked about Billy. We said, have you checked on your brother today? And he said, I haven't been over there in 2 or 3 days. You know, and we both work full time. And I said, well, get over there and check on him. You live right downstairs from him. So Roger hung up the phone with us, went up to Billy's, tapped on the window, heard him breathing, which he was actually already in the coma, calls us back, says, oh, I heard him breathing, he's fine. So we just assumed, well, we'll go check on him in the morning before work. He goes over there on his way to work the next day, finds Billy laying in his bed in a diabetic coma. Of course, he's breathing really deep, and you can hear that, but that's what he did. Nobody had checked on him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your useless brother who went down and checked and said, he sounds like he's breathing, he must be okay, is just that useless.
And later today,
she just gets really drunk and starts freaking out, screaming.
Just tell me what happened to the door.
She just fell through the door. She just fell through it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janice Allen says former friends Allison Cavey and Gaetano Harris owe for the return of her late brother's TV. The couple says they were like family to Janice's brother.
Now, it seems to me, Miss Allen, that the defendants were not related to your brother by blood, but took better care of him than his own family.
I was with my brother almost every day when I was there.
Did you take him to his doctor's appointments?
He didn't have any doctor's appointments.
We took him to some.
She actually called us one time, Your Honor, when Billy wasn't feeling well and said, can you check on Billy? I think he needs to go to the hospital.
No, I didn't ask you to check on him.
You did.
Just a second.
I simply...
So listen to me. Shh. Listen to me. Did you call them and ask them to empty out his apartment?
No, I didn't.
They asked for help.
Did you call and ask for help?
I asked for help for the television. That was it. And they didn't help with anything else.
Listen to me, Miss Allen. It sounds to me as if you're making a lot of excuses for people who were very kind to your brother while he was alive. Your useless brother who went down and checked and said, he sounds like he's breathing, he must be okay, is just that useless. You, within a week of your brother being released from the hospital, took your son on vacation to the Caribbean.
I called them, Your Honor, because...
Just a minute, you called them for what?
Because I could not get my brother down the stairs to take him to the hospital.
So you called to help?
I called for help. Exactly.
Good.
I'm a single
Good.
mom.
So what are you doing here talking about a television that you
Because
have no
I gave
legal...
them-
Hey, you have no legal right to sue for this television. And I would strongly suggest to you that since your brother relied on strangers to take care of him and fill in when his blood family could not, you think twice about bothering courts with this kind of lawsuit. Your lawsuit's dismissed, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. This is my best friend.
I was there every day.
I'm going to remember the last birthday I spent with him.
I went and talked to him and everything, every single day.
How he smiled and he had a good time and we sang karaoke. That's what I'm going to remember.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rogers versus Munyon, step forward, please.
19-year-old student Brittany Rogers is suing her former roommate, 21-year-old student Rachel Munyon, for unpaid rent, household costs, and damages to the apartment. Brittany says during a drunken episode, Rachel fell through their screen door.
Miss Rogers, you and the defendant were roommates. You claim she owes you for first month's rent on the apartment, which she never paid. She owes you her half of some household items that you purchased when you moved into the apartment, and that she caused some damage to the apartment in a temper tantrum, and you want her to pay for that too because you had that deducted from security.
That's correct.
Miss Munyon says she was totally paid up in her rent. She doesn't owe you a dime. You used a stolen credit card to pay for the household items, and that she never caused any damage to the apartment.
Yes.
Okay. When did you move in together?
We moved in halfway through June of 2003, and I paid the first months of the rent. It was a partial month of $777.
Okay, first month's rent, $777. So?
I paid $277 of that, and she paid $500 of that.
How did you pay the $277?
We wanted to get an apartment together, and her parents wouldn't sign, so my dad signed the lease so we could move in. And my dad told her that if he signed the lease, that she would pay the $500 and that I would pay the rest of the $277.
Don't speak.
That I would pay the rest of the $277. So
your father, I'm speaking. So your father, in effect, took a fee for co-signing.
Yeah, they made an agreement.
Oh, step up, sir. You're the father. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take a fee for co-signing for this apartment?
I didn't take a fee to co-sign for the apartment. What I did was we had a verbal agreement that if I co-signed for the apartment, Brittany would be responsible for the deposit on the apartment.
For the deposit? Shut! Sorry. If you co-signed, that she'd be responsible for the security deposit. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
How much was the security deposit?
$750.
Who paid that?
I did.
Good. Well, that was your agreement, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Well, your daughter got the story a little bit confused. Thank you very much. You may be seated now.
Okay.
Listen to me. Your father's agreement had nothing to do with paying $500 and you paying $277. Your father said that he would co-sign for the apartment. The condition of his co-signing for the apartment would be that the plaintiff put down the security deposit. Period. So you were confused.
Okay.
Let's go to next. Household goods. Did you use a stolen credit card to purchase the household
No,
goods?
I have my bank statements right here showing the places.
Well, tell me what you know about the stolen credit card, my dear, because she didn't make this up out of nowhere, I don't think.
There was a stolen credit card, and I did purchase items on a stolen credit card, which I was criminally prosecuted for, and I served my 6 months probation and did my community service for that.
Who'd you steal the credit card from?
A girl that I went to high school with. It was a back and forth thing. She stole money from me. I stole that from her. It was between me and her.
Wonderful. Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Every Tuesday, he was supposed to pay me $50.
Does that sound familiar, sir?
Yes.
Good. That's all you had to say.
And
Yes, sounds right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brittany Rogers says ex-roommate Rachel Munyon owes for rent, unpaid household costs, and damages to their apartment. Brittany says Rachel has a drinking problem.
All right. Let's go to the damage to the home.
Rachel has a big drinking problem. At first, when we moved in together, I was under the impression that she had kind of cleaned up her act. She told me this total story about her boyfriend and all this.
Just give me a break. Would you just tell me what she damaged?
So basically, she got really drunk and she fell through the screen door and broke it in our apartment complex.
Well, tell me exactly what happened.
We just had some friends over. We had all been kind of drinking, and Rachel I mean, obviously, she's kind of a small person. She can't take that much, and she just gets really drunk and starts freaking out, screaming.
Just tell me what happened to the door.
She just fell through the door. She just fell through it. I mean.
Did you hurt yourself?
No, I didn't fall through the door.
And you say you didn't fall through the door?
The screen door was only off the track, and there was like a little rip at the top.
Well, how'd that happen?
Just from people going in and out of it. I mean, we're both young. We both had people over there at the time.
What else?
And also, when she was really drunk, I actually had traffic school the next morning, and she was.
What'd you have traffic school for?
I was going 46 in a 35 zone, and she was, drunk again, coming in my room, bugging me. I told her to get out. She comes and flings my door open and pushed it against the wall so hard that the door stopper went through the door and put a hole in it.
So did you fix it?
The landlord fixed it and charged me for it.
Let me see. Why didn't you fix it?
I didn't really know how.
How to do it? You get a little thing in a tube, you put it in the wall, you go like this, and you fix it.
The landlord fixed it.
We finished second bedroom door, stained with unknown white substance. What was that?
That was from a shoe rack that she had over the door that left the paint.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Who lost their pool key?
She lost the pool key. There were 2 pool keys. We had a pool key that didn't work.
We only received one.
And she called the landlord for another one, and he sent us another one. And he wanted me to return both of them at the end, but she did something with the first one.
You have a pool key? You don't know where it is?
No.
Okay. As far as the items that you purchased for the house, and you say that she owes you for half, I'm not going to be able to distinguish what you purchased with a stolen credit card.
It was not with a stolen credit card. It's with this right here.
Sure, let me take a look at it.
They're all highlighted for you. We went together, and she agreed with me together that as soon as we got the computer in the house, that she was going to type up an agreement, and, oh, Brittany, I promise I'm going to get a job. No, she just got drunk and went out and...
I had a job the whole time I lived at
She
the
did not
apartment.
have a job at all when she was there.
I had a
She
job
stayed
the
at
whole
home and
time.
watched TV, and that's why her father put the cable in his name, because I was working 2 jobs and going to school, and I didn't have time to watch cable.
I
And
had
she
a
just
job
wanted to
the
sit
whole
at home
time that we
and watch
lived there.
TV all day and do nothing.
Did you go with her to Safeway stores on June the 9th where she purchased stuff in the amount of $626?
The thing is that she told me that she was going to use the credit card that her aunt gave us to get the initial things that we needed for the apartment, and then we could pay her aunt back in $50 increments. And then when we got to Safeway, the credit card was declined. And the reason it was declined is because the card that Brittany stole was like a Discover or something that Safeway didn't accept. And I told Brittany, I don't have the money right now because I just moved down here, I just got a job, so I would prefer if we go to another store where they do take Discover, American Express, or whatever it was. And she said, no, Rachel, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So my dad would bring me over food, and I would just eat the food that my dad brought.
Oh, no. Listen to me. Listen to what you just said.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just said that she had a stolen credit card that you knew about.
No, I didn't know about it.
That you knew it was somebody else's credit card, but they didn't take that credit card at one store that you went to, so you were going to go to a different store. You didn't go to a different store. You stayed at this store, and the amount of $626 wasn't was an amount that was purchased for the 2 of you, and you agreed to pay her back.
No, I did not agree to pay her back for those groceries. I agreed to pay her aunt back in $50 increments.
Listen to me. You agreed that you would be responsible for half that bill, only you said you were going to give it back to her aunt. Well, she didn't use her aunt's card. She used her card. So explain to me, what's the difference?
I told her that I didn't want to because I didn't have half of that $300.
You just told me. Listen to me. You just told me you didn't have it then, whether it was her money or her aunt's money. And you said you would agree to give her aunt back $50 installment payments.
Correct. But Brittany wanted the $300 up front.
No, I let her pay me increments. I actually arranged it with her father, and her father said that, oh, Brittany, don't worry. I know Rachel, and, if she doesn't take care of stuff, I will. He paid me one $50 money order.
Does that sound familiar, sir?
Yes.
Good. That's all? That's all you had to say.
And
yes, sounds right.
And then the next week, Billy, where's my money? Oh, I don't have the money this week. Okay, that's fine. Call him next week. Billy, where's my money? Oh, I don't have the money this next week. So.
I gotcha. You're right. 773, judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. This is case number 429 on the calendar in the matter of Cognac versus Hughes Hield. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
You have a child.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
How old is that child?
He's 7.
And who's the child's father? Were you married to his father?
Yes, I was.
For how long?
From June 2nd of 96 to June 2nd of 2000.
And it is my understanding that your son lives with his father.
Currently, yes, Your Honor.
And you have visitation.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And that visitation was ordered supervised by the court.
By the court, yes.
I assume that that was after a trial or after a hearing that the court ordered supervised visitation.
It was based on an ex parte, including my son's court-appointed attorney, in regards to that my son had told a psychologist that he was injured while he was with me, in which he was not.
Well, whatever. I'm not getting into the whys. I'm just indicating that that's what this part of this lawsuit is about, because the court ordered supervised visitation, and the court ordered you to pay the supervisor, the person who was to supervise that visitation. And the incident in question involved Miss Konia, who was the supervisor of a visitation period that you were having with your son. And according to your complaint, Miss Konia, you charge a fee for supervised visitation. You must be on a court list of supervisors. And on a particular day, when you were supervising the visit, you terminated the visit. It is your claim for cause because of Miss Heald's inappropriate actions. And she stopped payment on the check that she had given you for the supervised visitation. And you want that money plus your bounce check fee.
That's correct.
The defendant says that it was you who acted inappropriately. She had a basis to stop payment on the check, and she is counterclaiming for your inappropriate behavior and the emotional distress that that caused her. Now, when did you begin to do the supervised visitation with James and his mother?
This was the first visit that I had done myself. My partner here, Alan, had done 2 visits prior.
Tell me what happened.
Prior to any visits occurring, I had done what's required by law called an orientation intake session. I had done that separately with each party. At that time, each party was advised of what the requirements and the rules were of the supervised visitation. So I have the orientation rules and guidelines contract, which was signed by the defendant. I think it was on October 3rd of 2004. And if you want to refer in specific to policies number 14, where it says disparaging remarks and intentional disrespect.
I can read.
Sorry. Sorry.
The policy says that the person who is being supervised, the adult person, shall not, either verbally or non-verbally, make any disparaging remarks against any adult party, which clearly in plain English says that Ms. Heald is not to make any disparaging remarks about the child's father to the child or within earshot of the child. All right, so tell me what happened on the 29th.
So anyway, so I had done the orientation. We had done 2 visits. Both the visits prior to had been done with Alan, and I had done a visit on October 29th. We agreed to meet at Balboa Park. That was the meeting place. The visit ended up moving to Seaport Village. The defendant decided to take the child to a pizza place for dinner. The child's behavior was becoming increasingly more problematic.
How?
And I noticed when we were at Balboa Park, there was like a channel of water, kind of like a fountain, but you know, still water. And the child repeatedly put his feet into this water. I mean, it was nighttime. And she actually told him to stop, but the child didn't listen.
Okay, so he was misbehaving.
Misbehaving.
He was 7 years old.
Yeah, but she...
Okay, well, let's get to the pizza parlor, because right now you haven't canceled the visit, you haven't stopped the visit, you're at the pizza parlor.
Yes, when we were in the pizza place, he had flattened himself on the floor. He was upset about not wanting... He wanted to have a particular kind of soda, and she didn't want to get it for him. At that point, I don't like to intervene in the visit.
So he threw a tantrum, and he got on the
floor. He
threw
a tantrum. They sat down, and I don't know, she went up to the counter for a second. He took a Beanie Baby and he threw it at her. Once again, examples of the child's behavior being out of control.
What else?
Then they sat down. She began to, this is where things started to go downhill. She began to disparage the father. She began to attribute the child's behavior.
What you're doing is editorializing. I'd like you to give me
I will tell you exactly what she said. Okay, I have a termination memorandum, and she began to say the behavior that you're learning from, and I'm not going to say their names, you're learning that from them, and I won't have that. You're upset because the stepmother showed up with you today. I said, if you continue, the visit will be terminated. She just continued. She said, I would appreciate it if the stepmother, wouldn't show up. It's of grave concern to me because she's not allowed to be here, is what she said.
She said to you or she said to the child?
She directed that to me. Okay?
I assume she directed that to you,
yeah.
not to the child.
So after repeated attempts for me to change the subject, she didn't do it. So I terminated the visit. I got on the phone and I called the custodial parent, the father, to come pick up the child. And I asked her also to leave the restaurant, and she refused to leave. Okay? I have never had to do this before, but I ended up having to call local law enforcement, which I have the right to do by law.
Okay.
And when this was happening, she made a comment to me. She said that I'm not paying for this visit. I want my money back, is what she said.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're telling me that in my career, which spanned 30,000 cases, that yours was unique? Perhaps that's true. I doubt it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Child Visitation Monitor Monica Konya says a former client stopped payment on her fee. Julie Hughes Heald claims Monica overstepped her bounds when she terminated her visit with her son.
Will you step up, please, sir? Tell me your name.
My name's Alan Glick.
Mr. Glick, this is your partner?
Yes.
How many supervised visits did you conduct for James and the defendant?
2.
Were they eventful or uneventful?
They were eventful for me in that I noticed I had a document above and beyond the normal form I fill out, what I observed in lack of parenting skills.
And when did you fill out those forms?
These are filled out as I'm sitting there in the visit.
May I see them, please?
Yes. These are notes I take. There's some abbreviations there I use. And this is just so whatever happens, I don't have to rely on my memory. I have the notes to rely on.
Okay, not so terrible. All in all, not so terrible.
Well,
well,
nothing specific, just...
Yeah, nothing specific.
Just
nothing
lack
specific.
of ability to set boundaries and limits.
Okay. Well, lack of ability to set controls and limits is an interesting, rather amorphous statement. You would agree with that, sir? You would agree with the fact that if a biological parent, because of their own problems, and it's clear that Ms. Heald has her own problems, which is the only reason why a court sets supervised visitation for a parent. So you would agree that if you're only seeing your child for 3 hours once a week or 3 hours twice a week, you don't like to set controls, you don't like to set boundaries, you tend to let the child do whatever they want to do, which is not necessarily good parenting, but understandable within the context of a 3-hour visitation. So now I have the gist of what happened, from your perspective. Now I come to you. I want to see the order of visitation and the judge's decision in order formulating that order of visitation.
Okay, Your Honor, it's right here.
And I'd like to see the report from the child's lawyer.
That's the report from the child's lawyer. He's court-appointed per my request.
This isn't the order setting supervised visitation.
Actually, there's not supervised visitations anymore. The only reason why it was a supervised visitation is because my 7-year-old son said...
Listen to me. I can read. This says that the doctor recommends that if supervised visitation with the mother is to be lifted, that the visits with the mother be of short durations, 2 or 3 hours of visit. And then it goes on to say that the mother should, in addition, be engaged in supportive psychotherapy. What I want is the order where the judge ordered supervised visits, not your request for lifting it. Do you have that?
That was the order that was given for the last current standing order.
When?
When? The most recent court date stating that there is no longer supervised visitations.
You're not following me. I mean,
I don't have the other order.
Is this a passive-aggressive discussion that we're having? In what year was supervised visitation entered?
2004, approximately in October.
So at some point there was an order that said you don't have overnights, you don't have unsupervised visits, you have supervised visits. And what you're telling me is you do not have a copy of any of the reports that were used for the judge.
That order was only based on that my son was seen by a psychologist and he was coerced into saying that he was injured while with me and he wasn't.
Listen to me.
So they lifted the order. That's the only reason why they had it, Your Honor.
Listen to me, madam.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I'm sorry you don't, but I'm stating the truth.
I don't believe you. If you had the order, I would perhaps believe
That's
you.
the order
but if
that
what you're
Randy
telling
asked
me
me
is
to
that the
bring.
judge based their order on the statement of a child that was false.
Yes,
I
Your
don't buy
Honor.
that.
Well, it's true.
No, don't buy that. Now, Dr. That's the child's psychiatrist or psychologist?
Correct, Your Honor.
The observation of Dr. this visitation supervisor, the undersigned, and the prior psychologist who worked with the mother and the minor child routinely observed the mother's frustration with controlling and redirecting the minor child's behavior, as well as the mother's penchant for involving the child in court and adult issues. The first therapist appointed by the court to assist the mother in developing a more appropriate relationship with Jimmy and enhancing her parenting skills ultimately gave up in frustration, indicating he could not make any progress with the mother. So this is not an issue of short duration. This is a problem that's been going on for a long time, madam.
Your Honor, I originally had 93% custody of my son.
Well, something that you're doing,
Miss Hill,
something that you're doing, if you originally had 93% custody of your child, and if you don't have a mental illness, and I'm not sure whether you do or you don't. So I don't know whether you do or you don't. But if I were a parent who had 97% custody, and then it was cut down to 37% custody, and then it was cut down to visitation, and then it was cut down to supervised visitation, I would say to myself, wake up. Maybe something I'm doing is not right. Instead of saying everybody else has a problem. My son has a problem because he lies. This visitation supervisor has a problem because he lies. The child psychologist has a problem. My son's lawyer has a problem. I might say to myself, maybe my behavior is inappropriate because I started out being the custodial parent, and all of a sudden I can see my son 3 hours a week with a stranger that I have to pay. So I would say that to me would be a wake-up call.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Child Visitation Monitor Monica Konya says a former client stopped payment on her fee. Julie Hughes Heald claims Monica overstepped her bounds when she terminated her visit with her son.
Go ahead.
My concern is that the San Diego court system has put my son and I through the judicial process of I present the truth that my former husband and his current wife, who was his secretary originally, in the aspect of manipulating and controlling, and basically when she has two older teenagers, that my son was coming back with behaviors as in acting like a 17-year-old or 18-year-old that weren't well brought up. So my son was also stating comments about his dad.
You're not getting it. Madam, I sat in the family court for a quarter of a century.
I
ran the system there. And I do not remember a case where a mother had custody of a child or children, and that was reduced to supervised visitation unless there was a serious problem. And if you're telling me that in my career, which spanned 30,000 cases, that yours was unique, perhaps that's true. I doubt it. Because I'm hearing what you're saying, and what you're saying is exactly what I heard from parent after parent who said, I'm telling the truth, they're all off base. And all I'm saying to you is I'm giving you real good advice. Unless you are mentally ill, I would start examining myself, my own behavior, in order to ensure that I correct that behavior or modify it so that you can again become a meaningful part of your son's life. And stop resenting his father, who married his secretary, and stop resenting two teenage boys with whom your 7-year-old son probably has a reasonable relationship, but maybe learning things that are a little beyond his years. You better get on with it. Now, you want to tell me why you stopped payment on this check?
Yes. To be
just get to it.
To be quite honest, I have no resentment to my former husband because he was
Would you
domestically
get to
violent.
it? Because I'm past all that.
I'm thankful I'm not married to him.
I'm
just to let you
past
know.
all that.
Okay, the stop payment on the check was based on all I wanted to do was see my son. I love my son dearly, and due to the fact that he told his psychologist, because he was coerced by my former husband and his wife.
Now listen to me. That's not my question to you, and you're still not getting it. You see, you have this fixed thing. You want somebody to hear you. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. I'm hearing that you have a problem sticking to a judicial question, which at this point is, why did you stop payment on the check?
Yes, Your Honor. I stopped payment on the check because she violated her own contract.
How? That's what I want to hear.
She violated her own contract because she allowed Jim to bring his current wife there with the baby. She showed up a half hour late to the drop-off and pickup place. In the regards to the exchange, she originally had the exchanges with Alan Glitch, 2 times prior from 1 to 4 on Sundays, in which in the supervised agreement was never to be a person that's an agent of hers, which is ethically, I believe, unethical because it's her husband.
I only have one question for you, madam.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you, in fact, say in sum and substance, that kind of behavior is unacceptable to me? You may learn that at home with your father and stepmother, but that behavior is not acceptable here.
No, Your Honor, I
What
never
did you
did.
say? What did you say?
Basically, my son never threw a Beanie Baby at me.
I didn't ask you that. I said, what did you say to him?
About the behavior? I said, I have a Gatorade. When we went to the...
What did you say to him?
When he wanted a soda, I stated, you know, Jimmy, I have Gatorade for you. I was handling it appropriately. Monica started freaking out, saying that, you know, his dad said he couldn't have a soda. She started saying she was canceling the visitation, that
So
I
what
wasn't
you're
his parent or
So,
mother, so
just
she
a
was saying
second.
despairing remarks about me.
So what you're saying is you never said anything about
I never said
your...
anything despairing. I'm not a rude person.
Well, that's been a long-term problem, madam.
Well, that's my
according to
concern.
this. That's according to this that you gave me. It's been a long-term problem. What you're saying is that you never said anything to James about his father and or his stepmother. Nothing during the visit. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did
I don't
not.
believe you.
I was just wanting to see my son and
I
spend
don't
time with
believe
him
you.
due
I
to
don't
the
believe you.
circumstances.
I don't believe you. I don't think that-
Monica stated I wasn't my son's mother. She called the police. I said I had to call my son's court-appointed attorney to find out that I'd only met this lady once based on a list. And
I
she's
don't think
demanding
I
that I leave and abandon my son in a restaurant, screaming
she's
out
not
that I'm not his
abandoning-
mother.
Madam! You're not abandoning him. You're leaving him with somebody that the court has indicated is an appropriate supervisor. You can't cancel her check.
In which
How
my
much?
witness
You
here
can't
will
cancel
state
her
that
check.
she was
You
screaming
can't-
at me.
You cannot cancel her check. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $130, which is the amount of the check plus the canceled check fee. And you have a counterclaim for $2,500. That counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Versus Rundell. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. White, you and the defendant lived together, according to the complaint that I've read, for a period of time. And it is your claim that during that time you made a loan to her in the amount of $5,000 as a retainer for an attorney because she was having some legal problems. The defendant says that while she acknowledges that you wired the money into a joint bank account that you had for the attorney, that money was paid back because all that money that was in the joint bank account was put in by both of you subsequently. So the money was repaid.
In my opinion, yes, it was.
When did you start living together, Mr. White?
We started living together in April of '04.
How long had you known each other before you moved in together?
I knew of her approximately a year prior to that.
What does that mean?
Well, I was best friends with her brother and basically met her through her brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you moved in together in April of 2004, did you move into her place, your place, or a mutual place?
My place.
And, Your Honor, it was July of '04.
She's probably right, Mr. White.
Yeah, we had a birthday party for me in April, so yeah, then it was shortly after that. That's correct.
What was the financial arrangement when she moved into your house?
Financial arrangement? We really didn't establish any. I paid my bills and she paid her bills. She did insist that she put her check into my checking account. That didn't have anything to do with this particular item.
Just a second.
Yeah.
She put her paycheck into your checking account.
That's correct.
How much was your paycheck, Ms. Rundell?
$16.88 a month. And it was not a joint checking account. It was his checking account. I did not have access to that account in any way.
When did you make your first deposit into his checking account of $16.88?
I believe it would have been the month of July. I moved in roughly maybe the second week in July after we'd returned from vacation.
So let's be on the safe side. Let's say August.
That would be safe to say.
And how many months did you put your paycheck into that joint account?
Every month.
Until when?
Until January. My paychecks ended in January. Unemployment
August,
started.
September, October, November, December. 5 months.
And January.
And January.
Correct.
So it's 6 months, and that's easily verifiable by looking at your bank statement.
No, I don't agree with her putting that much money in there. She didn't have any credit, so she was using my bank to cash her checks. I wasn't aware that she was putting that money into my checking account every time.
This is a savings account statement right here. I could have put it in my savings had I been allowed to. This shows that there was no money that went into this account until a tax return was automatically deposited in the month of March.
Do you have your bank statement, sir?
No, ma'am, I don't. I just have a check that I had wrote her. I didn't even know she had a savings account.
I don't care whether you knew she had a savings account or not, sir. You get a checking account statement every month.
Correct.
And every month you would see a deposit in there.
Right.
And that deposit would not be your deposit. I mean, we know what
Correct.
our deposits are. So she
Correct.
was depositing her check into your account. And that account would also show certain withdrawals if she was using your checking account as merely just a revolving door for her money. She was putting it in
Right.
and cashing it.
She was putting her check into my checking account during the beginning of her stay at my place, and then we were using my check to write checks for all the bills.
It was not in name a joint account, but it was a joint account because that money was being used to pay joint bills.
Correct.
$16.88 per month.
Correct.
Are you chewing gum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us assume everything that you say is correct. That for 6 months you put in $16.88 a month.
Yes.
That comes to $10,128. Now, why did you need an attorney?
I had filed a police report as a mandatory reporter with the police department there locally where I live.
Is it a criminal matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the matter still pending?
Yes, ma'am.
And you retained a private attorney?
Correct.
And you discussed that with Mr. White?
Correct.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, I had no knowledge of her making this report.
I don't care about the
Okay.
substance of the case.
Okay.
The need for an attorney, something else.
Correct. We did discuss the need for an attorney, and it was important that she hired a good one for this situation.
So what did you say to her?
So we made arrangements to lend her $5,000 off my credit card.
That's a conclusion, sir.
We had talked about this and discussed we needed to retain $5,000 for this attorney, and we decided to take this off of a credit card that I have. I had no credit card debts at all. One of the qualities she talked about with me is that I wasn't in any debt. This was a special occasion that I needed to help her out on, so I decided to take a credit card, dump the credit card into my checking account, and give her a check on November 28th for $5,000. She told me when she got her income tax that she would give me half of it in one lump sum and make payments on the rest, and I was fine with that.
That is not true.
Well, tell me what the discussion was, Ms. Rundell.
The discussion, there was never a discussion around the credit card, just like there wasn't a discussion about how we were going to pay our bills when the money was lumped together in the checking account. What we had discussed on many different occasions was how we were going to use the money wisely. This chunk of money, which would have been around $6,000 for the tax return, what were we going to do with it?
You were going to
many
pay me
different.
half that.
I was talking. On many different occasions, we talked about different things. We talked about we would take a trip, but not too far. Didn't want to spend too much money. We talked about paying a big chunk of it to Bank One credit card, which the attorney came off of. We also talked about paying off his Washington State unemployment money that he still owed when I moved in was $4,000. It was down to $1,500. We wanted to eliminate that payment each month.
All right, let's get back to talking a little bit turkey, Ms. Rundell. It is your defense that you put in your check into the account and you were living like a married couple.
Correct.
And when you moved in together in July, it was your intention that your money be spent on household bills.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't need an attorney until what month?
October.
That's not a household bill. So that what it really did was cut your participation in the household bills in half. Because if you deposited $10,000 into this account to pay for your expenses during the course of that 6 months, madam, and you withdrew $5,000 out of it for your own personal use, then it's very possible that Mr. White is correct, that it was anticipated that you would be repaying this account when you got your tax return.
It wasn't repaying that account. The tax return coming in and was going to be used to pay bills wisely, not just on a credit card. This has nothing to do with paying back the credit card. It has to do with Mr. White and his continued abuse and harassment that has not stopped and will not stop.
It will stop when he gets his money back.
That's right.
Trust me, it won't stop.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. White feels as if he's a fool because he had this outlay of money. You're still using the services of a lawyer.
Correct.
You're still living off of that $5,000.
And later today,
He smoked every single one of his paychecks.
You smoking dope?
Methamphetamines, Your Honor.
Oh, you doing methamphetamines?
Half that went to her nose also.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James White says ex-fiancée Karen Rundell owes for a loan to retain a lawyer. Karen says she gave her paycheck to James the entire time they lived together.
There isn't a question in my mind that we probably wouldn't be here having this discussion if the two of you were still together. Because if you were still together, you would be continuing to contribute your $16.88 a month into this account. And eventually, this $5,000 would be paid back from payments to the credit card. But you're not together anymore. And Mr. White feels as if he's a fool because he had this outlay of money, and now you're not together anymore. You got your tax return back. There was discussion about paying back this, whatever, Capital One card or whatever it is. Some of the money that he gave you to pay your lawyer. You're still using the services of the lawyer, correct?
Correct.
Have you given the lawyer any more money?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're still living off of that $5,000. And he says, minimally, our agreement was that she was going to continue to put her $16.88 into the account so we could at least pay the lawyer back from that money. That stopped. Listen, you want him to leave you alone?
I do.
Pay him his money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Karen's good. I mean, I always said she should have been an actress or an attorney.
I've been thrown around by him. I've had a black eye from the man.
I received a restraining order by an officer at work. I was totally floored.
Throw methamphetamines into it and see what happens.
She wrote down some pretty hellacious remarks on the restraining order, and all which was dismissed.
I wanted him to change, and I loved the man.
She's been garnished her wages. Her creditors have been after her.
It's going to spiral downhill. It's not going to change.
She was sly. I should have looked at those red flags at the very beginning.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pryber Floyd versus Higgs. Step forward.
21-year-old Cassie Pryber Floyd is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old Andrew Higgs, for unpaid loans and for breaking her windshield with his cell phone.
According to your complaint, Cassie, the defendant, who was your boyfriend, needed some money for rent. You loaned him $300, then you had a fight, and he broke your windshield in your car. You want him to fix it, and then you want money for chauffeuring him around to various things, including seeing his daughter.
Correct.
You have a daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is she?
Year-old.
You support her?
Yes.
How much do you send?
I send at least $150 every week.
If the child's mother was here, would she tell me that you spend $150 a week on your daughter?
Yes.
All right, Cassie, so let me hear about this first loan that you made him. When was it?
The first loan was May 4th.
Tell me about it.
Andrew was staying in a hotel, and his brother could not loan him any more money, and he needed money for rent to be able to stay in the hotel. So he asked me if I could loan him the money for the rent. He promised to pay me back.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
He promised to pay me back, even if he had to give me his paychecks until it was paid off. I have a witness that was there.
Where did this conversation take place?
At his hotel room.
Where were you staying at the time?
I was living in Harrisonburg.
Were you staying in the hotel?
No, I was not.
Did you ever stay in the hotel?
I stayed one night.
It's a lie.
I'm going to give you one more opportunity, then I'm going to throw you out of here, which is not a good thing. You do want to be heard, don't you?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
How many nights did you spend there, Cassie? And don't make it difficult for me.
Only one night, Your Honor.
In total?
In total.
Okay, now when was this incident with the windshield?
The windshield incident was on June 22nd.
Between May 4th and June 22nd, did he give you any money?
No.
Did you ask him about it?
I asked him pretty much every day for it. He kept saying, I need to give my daughter's mom child support money, or I need it for drugs. He smoked almost every single one of his paychecks.
Well, didn't that give you a clue, Cassie, that this was not the kind of person you wanted to be around?
For a while, I did stop talking to him. He called me on June 22nd, said he was having problems with his daughter's mom.
What were the problems he was having with his daughter's mother?
He was not paying her child support, and she did not want to let him see her.
What were you doing with your money?
I was paying my rent.
You smoking dope?
No.
Methamphetamines, Your Honor.
Ooh, you doing methamphetamines?
No, ma'am.
That's a kind of nasty story to make up about you.
Actually, Your Honor, we did take part in that there for a couple weeks, but she was involved just as well as I was.
So if I asked you if you were doing drugs, the answer was yes.
But the money that she loaned...
Just a sec. The answer would be yes.
Right. The money that she loaned me was actually because she was living with me at the time, and plus half that went to her nose also.
That's not true, Your Honor.
She was living down there with me because she lives house to house. She can't take care of her kids. She's been living in 7 different houses in the past year because she can't hold a job. She can't do nothing.
Where are you working now?
I'm a waitress.
Where?
At IHOP.
How long have you been there?
On and off for 4 years.
On and off doesn't tell me. How long have you been there the last stint there?
Probably about 4 months. No, give or take 3 months, 2 months. I'm sorry.
I got it.
Cassie Pryber-Floyd says ex-boyfriend Andrew Higgs owes for loans and a broken windshield. Each is accusing the other of being a drug addict.
All right, my dear. Now you can tell me about the windshield.
I had picked Andrew up on June 22nd. We had gone back to one of his witnesses' houses, and everybody was drinking. He had about 2 40-size bottles of beer. Him and I had gotten into an argument. He was getting rowdy with everybody. So I told him I was going to take him home. On our way home, I received a phone call, and he got upset about the phone call and threw his cell phone up into the dash of my car, breaking and spiderwebbing my windshield.
Okay, let's hear about the windshield incident. Andrew.
We was at the witness's house drinking.
What day of the week was that?
Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday. What time did you get there? Whose house was it? Raise your hand. What time?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
In the evening?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many children do you have? 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are they?
One is with me, and the other one was with her dad.
The one that's with you is how old?
She's 4.
And the one that's with her dad is how old?
She's 2.
Where was the one that lives with you at 7:30 in the evening on Wednesday?
Probably spending time with my father. My parents have joint custody, but I have primary physical custody. When my father and my stepmom have time, they do spend time with her.
That is not true. You got a lot of growing up to do.
Yes, I know that.
You know, her father takes care of her daughter. She gets her maybe once a month.
I got it.
I have her every day, Your Honor.
Listen to me, Cassie. When a court has to get involved and give grandparents legal custody of a child.
That's not what happened, Your Honor.
No?
Her father ended up in jail, and
yes,
I did not want him to have to fight me for custody because he was in jail. My dad and my stepmom do have joint custody of
Cassie!
For that.
That is a lot of baloney. Do you want me to tell you why?
Why?
I was a family court judge for many, many years. People in prison do not sue for custody. And the only reason grandparents get custody of children is because a parent is unable, physically or emotionally, to take care of them. That's why a court gives grandparents custody of children. So I'm telling you, you better grow up, you two. Doing drugs jointly or independently not only is wasteful, since you work at IHOP, and you work where, sir?
I'm a truck driver.
Well, a truck driver who does methamphetamines is not a truck driver that I would like to have driving my truck or on the road.
Your Honor, I don't...
Do we understand each other, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now tell me what happened in the car when her windshield got smashed.
She got a phone call from a witness here saying that it was another guy waiting at her house for her. And me and her got in an argument. Instead of losing my cool, I tossed her.
Oh, don't interrupt. Sure, it's true.
I just threw my phone up against the window. And then next day, she went back to my witness's house and was laughing, saying that she hit me and everything. And
she hit you.
And next day, she realized that her windshield was broken. She called me up. I was like, yeah, when you threw my phone, you broke my windshield. And she's like, well, I'm not really worried about it because 2 days later, we got back together.
All right. And then you want money for driving him around to see his daughter. Is that right? That's the last part of your lawsuit?
Yes, ma'am.
Forget it. I don't even want to hear anymore. Listen, I'm going to make short work of the two of you. So far between the two of you, you have managed to ruin your young lives yourselves and bring 3 offspring into this world, none of whom you are caring for. You have done enough damage. Grow up. The time you came here to file a case, to come here, you should have better spent doing something productive. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Quiet. There isn't a question in my mind, sir, that if I were to ask the mother of your child whether each and every week she gets $150 from you, I would not get an affirmative response.
Yes, you would.
Maybe once in a while you send it. Put your hand down. Either one of you two ladies the mother?
No, but I'm
I don't care. I just ask a question. Either one of you the mother of this child? Good, then shut up. You get me? You made 3 babies. You tortured enough people. Grow up. Especially you. That's all. Out.
Parties are excused. 98 on the calendar in the matter of McIntosh versus Sexton. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
A fight over a man. How stupid can you get? And where is this man that we were all fighting over?
Are you asking me, Judge?
Anybody who will answer my question.
Oh, he's incarcerated at the present time. He's not really the reason why we're here, though. He was irrelevant to this.
No, he's not irrelevant, but for the fact that each of you were related to him in some way by affection. You wouldn't be here. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know what she had going with him, but I know he respected me. So I don't know exactly what she had going with him.
All right, Miss McIntosh, it's your claim that Miss Sexton assaulted you.
Yes.
She assaulted you with a bottle. You were seriously injured. According to you, you wanted to pay for that. You were briefly involved with the defendant's boyfriend. You didn't know that he had a girlfriend, according to you.
Yes.
And anyway, somehow that escalated. You're going to tell me the story. Miss Sexton said that she acted in self-defense, that you picked up a bottle first to hit her. She got the bottle out of your hand, and so she bopped you with the bottle. This was really a brawl. She says, in her counterclaim, that you damaged her car on 2 separate occasions, and that she wants you to pay for her legal fees that she spent in defending these assault charges. So that's your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently pregnant, Miss Sexton?
Yes, I am.
And the father of this child is the person who is currently incarcerated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any other children with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you become pregnant after you found out that he was fooling around with an underage person?
Well, actually,
Just answer my question. That's either yes or no.
Well, yes.
Another testament to your good judgment. How old are you?
18.
How old are you, Miss Sexton?
I'm 27.
You have children?
No.
Okay, Miss McIntosh, let's hear it.
On August 18, 2002, I had my sister take me to a friend's house to retrieve a necklace I left over there.
What time?
It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Go ahead. I must be living in another culture.
So, as I was inside of the residence...
What do you do for a living?
I'm a student.
What day of the week was August 18th?
A Sunday.
What do you do during the summer?
Nothing.
Why?
Because I'm a student. I go to school right now.
You were going to school in August of 2002?
School hasn't started yet.
So what were you doing?
Nothing.
Didn't you ever hear of working?
Huh? Yes.
That's what most 17-year-olds do during the summer when they're not in school. That keeps them out of trouble, so that they're not out at 2 o'clock in the morning going to retrieve a necklace. You're her friend?
I'm her sister.
Sister. I won't even ask what you were doing, because you're older than 18?
Yes.
So you were on your way to retrieve a necklace at 2 o'clock in the morning from a friend's house. And what happened?
While I was inside of the residence, the defendant...
Inside of what residence?
My friend's house.
Who's your friend?
My boyfriend.
Oh, so that's the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a girlfriend's house you were going over to. Your sister was taking you over to your boyfriend's house to get a necklace that you had allegedly left there. Is that right?
Yes.
Who did he live with?
His mother.
Is she normal?
Yes.
What do you think some normal person would think of a young 17-year-old popping by at 2 o'clock in the morning?
She was asleep.
So what happened when you got there?
While I was inside of the residence, the defendant, Alicia Sexton...
Just a second. You were inside with the boyfriend?
Yes.
How long had you been there inside?
Like 3 minutes.
And where was your sister?
Outside in a car waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Your Honor, that's not...
I don't want to hear
Okay.
it yet. So you're inside with the boyfriend at his mother's house at 2 o'clock in the morning. And?
And the defendant came in, Alicia Sexton walked in with my friend's little brother. She came in and she asked me what my name was. I replied, Sita, and she struck me upside the head with a bottle.
I then fell. She got on top of me or whatever and started hitting me. My friend broke it up or whatever.
You're talking in terms of this boyfriend
Yes.
who's in jail.
Yes.
He broke it up.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As I ran outside, Alicia came after me. She had the bottle in her hand. She threw it at me, but it missed me. And then she got on top of me. When she slammed me, she got on top of me again. That's when my friend and my sister came over there and they broke the fight up. My sister didn't rush me to emergency. I had 11 stitches. I got cut 2 different spots, 8 up here and 3 down here. I have pictures.
Let me see. Okay, let me hear your version of the events, Miss Sexton.
Actually, Judge, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was on my way over to pick my boyfriend up. We lived together. He was at his mother's house while I was at the casino.
What were you doing there?
I was gambling.
Now, you and this boyfriend lived together?
Yes, we lived at my home.
Who else lives there?
Just me and him.
How long have you been living there?
We've been living together for about 4 years now.
Go ahead.
This is actually a housing project where I was picking him up from. When I pulled up outside, I seen this young lady run in the house. She wasn't already in the house. She was outside with a bunch of people. I was not even aware of this girl, who she was, didn't know what she looked like or anything. She ran in the house, at which time his little brother showed up, and I went in the house with him. Well, he was trying to push her out the back door at the time, my boyfriend. She wouldn't go. So I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I'm Sita." And I said, "Oh, you came to my house and busted out my car windows," because she had already came to my house before on an incident prior to this and did damage to my vehicle.
How do you know that?
I have police reports with witnesses that seen her do it.
Well, you never filed any charges with regard to that.
I tried to file charges for the destruction of property in that case, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Do you have any witnesses here that saw her do it?
No, but it's in the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She said, "You broke out my car windows." And she said, "Yeah, I did, and what you gonna do about it?"
So you showed her what you were going to do about it. So you
Well,
hit
we
her.
were fighting each other.
Oh, no.
I don't know if
Miss
I
Sexton.
landed the first punch or she did.
Miss Sexton, you know everything else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larcita McIntosh claims she and Alicia Sexton had a physical brawl over a man. Larcita says Alicia hit her in the face with a bottle.
So, at the time you saw her and she told you her name.
Right.
According to you, then you knew who she was.
Then I knew who she was.
You had never called her before.
No.
Because she says you called her house a year
No,
before.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I called her mother prior to that.
Thank you. Well, that's what I want to know. You called her mother.
But not her.
What? Don't play with me.
Right. I called her mother.
What did you say to her mother?
I asked her mother, was she aware that her daughter had called me and told me she was having intimate relations with my grown boyfriend that was of age and he shouldn't be having intimate relations with her, and that if he was...
So she called you?
She called my house first to tell me of this relationship she was having with him. And so at the time, I was trying to get this resolved because she was underage and I'm grown. And so the mother said that, no, her daughter was just lying, and her daughter told me this, that her daughter was just trying to make me mad.
When did her daughter tell you this?
She had to be about 15, maybe 16 then.
So you did speak to her on the phone?
Yes, she called my home. I didn't call her house.
So then she called you and you spoke to her?
Yeah, and then I, in return, called her mother to see what was going on. And so when I did call her mother said she was just trying to make me jealous. I told her mother that her daughter told me that she was having relations with him and that he was too old to have relations with her, and if that was really the deal, that I wanted to know.
Okay. The boyfriend is trying to push her out the back door because you're coming in the front door, and what happened?
Like I said, I was coming to where they were standing. She was standing right behind him. I asked her, who was she? I wasn't even aware of who this girl was at that time.
Well, what did you say to her?
I said, you came to my house and busted out my car windows, and she said, you know, real cocky or whatever, and she said, I'm Sita. And I said, oh, and we started a physical confrontation at that point.
So before you asked who she was, you said to her, you came to my house and broke out my car windows.
Right.
So you knew who she was.
No,
Miss Sexton, that's what you just said.
I didn't know who she was by her looks. I just figured that was her because she made her presence appearance when I pulled up.
Listen to me. You just said to me that when you walked into their house, you said to her, you broke out my car windows.
After she said that she was Sita.
No, that's not what you just told me 2 seconds ago.
Well, that's what I meant to say. That's how it went.
You knew who she was.
Well, I kind of had an idea when she made herself present.
Let's not play with each other.
But I didn't know
I don't
who
have
she
time.
was.
I'm speaking. Don't try to talk over me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And so at that time, we started a physical confrontation.
Look at my eyes. What do you mean at that time we started a physical confrontation?
We started fighting.
Somebody always starts fighting first. So give me a step-by-step of what happened.
I asked her, like I said, who she was. She told me who she was. And at that time, I said, you came to my house and you broke out my car windows. And she said, yeah, I did. And what you going to do about it?
And?
So we started fighting.
So you showed her what you were going to do about it.
We fell on a coffee table, and the coffee table
So you
got
hit her.
broke.
So you hit her.
We were fighting each other.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I landed the first punch or she did.
Miss Sexton, you know everything else. You know what you said, you know what the boyfriend said, you know about little brothers, you know everything else, but you can't tell me who hit who first?
Well, we started fighting at that point.
Okay, well, if you don't know, who hit who first? Did she hit you first?
She hit me with the bottle.
Well, since you don't remember, babe.
I didn't hit her with the bottle.
Listen to me. Since you don't remember, I have to assume that she remembers. If you just said to me, I don't remember, then I conclude that you hit her first. Because if you don't remember, and one person says I remember, and logically it makes sense to me that,
Well,
that
she's
you would
saying
hit
that
her.
I hit her with the bottle, and I did not.
Well, I don't care what you hit her with. You hit her
We
with
fell
something.
on a coffee table, a glass coffee table, and broke it, Your Honor.
Well, let me tell you something, madam. If the fight started because you hit her first, and in self-defense she reacted, you are still liable. And I have no idea why the police dismissed these charges against you.
They never even came and spoke to me.
Well, that's some police department. You are responsible for her injuries. Since you don't remember, and she does, you're responsible. You had hospital bills? In what amount?
My hospital bills came up to, like $730.
And was there an insurance deductible?
I don't care whether there was or whether there wasn't.
Medicaid?
She's suing. I'm speaking.
And that's for why the case was dismissed.
Can I see it, please?
I think the hospital bill on back of the police report.
Oh, it was dismissed on a speedy trial motion. Is that right?
Yep.
So the DA didn't move fast enough.
Yes, that's correct. That was the only reason.
They must be very busy in Douglas County, Nebraska. You're suing her for $2,000 for both the medical bills and your pain and suffering. You are entitled to that. So on your complaint, I am going to award you $2,000. Ms. Sexton, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim states that she damaged your car. You have proof of that?
In the police reports, the police spoke to the witnesses.
And that's the only proof that you have?
Well, and that I seen her actually bust my window out at one time.
I don't believe that, because if you had seen her busting out your car window, then you would have put that in your answer and in your counterclaim. You chose not to do that, and even the person who you brought with you was shaking her head no. Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
No, it's incorrect.
Oh, yeah, she saw her bust out her window?
Yes, I did.
Oh, how come it's not in the answer that you put here, madam?
Caused damages to my vehicle on 817 and 713. It is in there. She caused damages.
No.
I've seen
You
that.
didn't tell me that you observed it.
If I may.
Step up. Who are you?
I'm her mother.
Did you observe her? Did you
I did not observe her. She has a protection order against me, and I have one against them also. The first time that her windows got broken out at her home, she called me at 5:30 in the morning. I went up there. I looked at her caller ID. She said that the girl had been harassing her all night.
There's no question in my mind that this 17-year-old girl
got infatuated.
Be quiet.
Yeah, your judgment's not terrific, Miss Sexton. Your mother can attest to that, isn't that right?
On some things, yes.
There's no question in my mind that this 17-year-old girl was strung along by this person currently incarcerated, soon to be a father. There's no question that she acted inappropriately for a 17-year-old or for a 27-year-old or for a 15-year-old. Your daughter is supposed to be older and smarter.
And I called her parents, the 17-year-old's parents, at that time. Spoke to the father first. The father told me that she was out of control, that yes, she was out all night, that they didn't know where she was, that's what's the car she was.
She's out of control.
She was supposed to be on a curfew at the time, ma'am.
Put yourself down.
Well, anyway, I asked them, I said, well, can you do something with her? She can't keep coming up here, calling here, breaking out windows, causing all this damage. Something's going to happen, and one of them are going to end up getting hurt eventually. Later that day, her mother called my house, told me that I was going to bury my daughter with my other dead daughter. And I said, if anything happens to my daughter, your daughter's the one coming up here. So
What
went back and forth.
What does this have to do with car windows?
It just kept going back and forth.
Listen to me. What does this have to do with car windows?
The damage is
She was
excessive,
coming
and it
to my
kept
home.
doing it, and she kept coming to her home. My daughter never went to her home, never called her, anything.
Listen to me. In all probability, she did it. Just give me proof.
Well, the only proof I have is the witnesses that are in the police reports, ma'am.
I can't use that, madam.
Well, I did ask if I could bring notarized statements or anything. They said no. Right. So.
No, you could bring witnesses.
Well,
these are older people that own businesses and couldn't come.
Then I can't help you.
And then at the housing project that night,
I
the mother of the
actually did
defendant
see
told
her.
her do not break out her windows because they were threatening to, and she saw her break it out.
Tell me what you saw.
I'm going to tell you what exactly happened. We had a confrontation in the house. At that time, we went outside, and she didn't rush to no hospital. We went outside and fought 3 more times before she left.
Yes.
To tell you the truth.
Yes.
She didn't rush to no
Keep
hospital.
going, keep going.
The first time that they broke it up, she went outside, and she was all mad and everything. So at that time, she was outside. She bust my window out with a baseball bat.
Just don't give me a long explanation. I want you to look through the police report, and you tell me if anywhere in the police report you told the police that you saw her with your eyes break out your car window. Take a moment and look through the police report.
I already know
and
what
let
the
your
police
mother
report
help you.
says.
Put
I
your
know-
hand down. I'm not interested in you.
I know what the police report says.
No.
ma'am. I
Listen
did.
through it.
No, in the police report, no, I didn't. The police never showed up that night. They never came. That's why I was
Listen to me.
unable to tell them that.
At any place in the police report from the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, because they add on to police reports, you know, when you make additional reports, any place does it say that you told the police that you saw her break out your car window?
No, it doesn't.
Sorry, can't help you. Miss McIntosh, reluctantly, I am awarding you what you are requesting, which is $2,000, because you were, in fact, assaulted by Miss Sexton, and I believe that she threw the first punch. But I think that you probably were out of control, smitten with a loser who happens now to belong, at least temporarily, to Miss Sexton when he gets finished belonging to the state of Nebraska. Is your last name Sexton?
No.
What is your last name?
Buckley.
Miss Buckley, your daughter has made some serious errors in judgment. And I would hope that now that she's going to have a child, you try to inculcate into her some responsibility.
That was his judgment. I don't.
No, it was
do
your
that.
judgment, Miss Sexton. It was your judgment to get yourself hooked up with and get pregnant by somebody who
that respected me, that I didn't know anything about disrespecting me.
Oh, save me. Bird, get him outside, would you
Thank
please?
you.